All right, guys. How's everybody doing? Welcome back. We are here because we have a topic there. We haven't done a topic in a while for this site. We're usually just doing a lot of roundtables, but we're going to get back to doing the topics. This time around, we're going to do, guys, with the Netflix Marvel deal that's been going on, a lot of street level characters have been coming out. We've been seeing. We're gonna get back to doing the topic. This time around, I'm echoing. Sorry. With the Netflix Marvel deal that's been going on. Sorry. A lot. We're definitely gonna have We're seeing a lot of characters. We got so far. We're gonna get the Defenders, which is Daredevil, Jessica, Luke, and Iron Fist. So far, we know that we still have not. There have no been casting of Iron Fist yet. But we do have a showrunner. Luke's series is supposed to come out is this year. They're pushing for November again. And we got Matt and Jessica's just ended.
Yep.
But of course, guys, as us fans, we always think, hey, these Netflix deals this series is good. You know, this could be a good way of getting some characters exposure that we probably never see on the big screen. And we came up with 6. Each of us have maybe 6 or less characters that we think could work on a Netflix series like they've done for Matt and Jessica and doing for Luke and Danny and things like that. So each of us is going to give our choices. And if we want to tell them why, we will. But if not, that's okay. That's okay. But and if you guys have any lists or any characters, you know where to put it in the comment section below. Have fun as always, guys. And we're gonna get started with this. Okay. So first one we're gonna kind of get our ways like the obvious choices, and I think Jeremy has a lot of the obvious ones.
Yeah.
So, we'll start off with the number ones right now. So Jay, you go first. What's your number one first?
All right. So my number one, because I'm a fan of this character, and he was done dirty in the movies. I would really like a Ghost Rider series. Like, just give me Ghost Rider. It would be really. It's pretty easy. I mean, all you got to do is have a guy on a bike and add the flame effects. I'm sure the flame effects aren't going to be that expensive. And once Doctor Strange starts, you can open up a whole, can of worms with magic. And most of my list is actually a setup for a Midnight Suns series, because that's what I think they could build up to next, which could be pretty awesome.
Which Ghost Rider? Which one?
I would go with Danny Ketch, because I never was really into Johnny Blaze.
Okay. So we're going with his brother then.
Yeah, I mean, like that way people don't have the association that they have with the movie. They're like, oh no. So I never was really into so you just go with Danny Ketch.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I would go. Dan was the first Ghost Rider that I liked. He was the one I grew up with. I mean, and then I went back and read, what went with his brother before they even announced that they were brothers. But he was always the one that really felt more like a superhero. Like, he was the one that had the Rogues Gallery and people like that. Blackout.
Yeah, exactly.
Blackout was his villain, not Johnny's villain and things like that. And yeah, like you said, it could set up, especially with Doctor Strange, him coming out and they talking about Strange is going to be going to different dimensions and stuff like that. And, I mean, we could actually see that maybe Strange, to stop the demons Zarathos, he put it in something. And, yeah, I can understand that.
It could be really cool. And, like, again, it's not going to, I mean, Netflix has a great budget to begin with, and it's not going to break the budget to, do Ghost Rider effects and some demons and whatnot. Look at Legends of Tomorrow. Like, come on, if you guys can do that on regular TV, I'm pretty sure you could pull this off on Netflix.
Yeah, and plus, Ghost Rider is also, kind of a little bit darker. He's a dark character at times, and the vibe of Netflix seems to be going in that route for him. And I personally, I think for all of us, we think it's better for him to be on the small screen or on like we can binge watch him instead of seeing him on a big budget movie, you know. And I mean, I still can watch the first one. I can't watch the second one, but still, I think yeah, they did kind of drop the ball with him, and you know, it could open up the door with with especially in like maybe a future season, you know, we could see maybe Alexandra, you
I
know.
mean, there's only one reason I watched the first movie, and her name is Eva Mendes. So
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I would like a Robbie Reyes actually. Like if they had Robbie show up, because I mean, like I know his series didn't get enough push, but I really liked, especially towards the end, I liked the Robbie series a lot.
Yeah, Robbie Reyes, you know, especially because his powers don't come from like the demons of Rathos. It's a little different. So yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Once again, you know, that'd be an interesting factor
Yeah,
too.
so that way, Danny, if they decide to keep Danny around, they could have him still be Ghost Rider, but he'll be like a mentor figure to this younger kid. I think it could be an interesting kind of thing to go on.
Okay. All right, Kyle, you want to go next? What's your number one?
All right. Prepare to be mind fucked. So I'd like a series. My boy Danny DeVito in a Netflix series just going around biting people and just pushing people around. And I'm just kidding. Wow. Okay. I wanted to say that, so I needed to get it out there. I'd like one on Elektra, actually. I don't know what we're gonna do for season 2. We don't know where she's gonna be, but I think Elektra could hold her own because I don't know if it's confirmed or I know we've heard reports, but they're going to be making a Punisher one. They're like we haven't even seen anything of Punisher from season 2, and they're that they know it's people are going to love it. You know, they have that much faith in it that they're going to give it a series. So I think Elektra could hold her own. You could probably deal with the Hand and all of that in her series. I mean, it's like I've always said about Jessica Drew. I mean, yeah, Cap has ties to Hydra, but she goes in deeper, and you can do stuff with her that's just more personal and get into Hydra a lot more into the tentacles of them. So it's like I think Elektra could do one for one. So, but yeah, I'm good.
Elektra, yeah, I think
I would watch that.
I would go with that because she has an interesting story. You know, we don't know if they're really going to go into detail with her origin in the season 2, so it'd be really interesting to see where they take her. And I think they can use a little bit of the what story the last Elektra series they did where she was dealing with
you're talking about the Mike Del Mundo one.
Yeah, that'd be
yeah, that was awesome.
so yeah Elektra's a good one. That's a good one. I like that.
It is.
Okay, Brian, what about you?
All right. My number one. I don't know how the rights go for this exactly, but it's also another female. My number one pick is actually She-Hulk.
Oh. See, I thought about that one, but I'm like, I didn't know. Yeah, again, I didn't know about the rights, so I didn't put it on there.
In my mind, if the rights were there, in my mind, I kind of imagine it as something like a mix of Jessica Jones and Daredevil, but with like maybe a lighter tone to it.
Yeah, and you could have Daredevil show up in it because they're lawyers. It's like we're lawyers. It's like you're like a team, like a part of team up in their episodes, and it wouldn't be like Iron Man showing up in like Daredevil for no reason, going, "Hey guys, we're part of the MCU." It'd fit.
I would really like to see a courtroom battle between Jen and Matt. That would be.
And also,
Go ahead. What?
There's 2 other things. One, this isn't for all of mine, but for this one, I do have a casting for it.
Okay.
she has made several statements saying that she wants to play the character. So I say, why not let her? Angie Harmon from
Hey,
like
that's
Rizzoli
the
and
actress from.
Isles and Law and Order.
Oh yeah, her. Yeah,
I
she's
think she's a
always
good in the job.
been open about playing the role. Yeah.
I say give it to her. And also the
Hmm.
second thing is like Jay kind of I set up for this list some of mine to lead up to a team, but it's a different team. I actually think if they wanted to, based on the success of Jessica Jones, they could build up to a Lady Liberators TV show.
I could see that.
Okay. Uh,
Not
okay.
bad.
I guess it's my turn.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Uh, okay. I'm gonna go odd. Not really odd, but I'm just going out there with this one. Um, because I doubt they'll ever bring this character due, but I've always thought about, I've been thinking about it for a while, guys, and the fact that, it'd be really cool to see another period piece character,
Oh yeah.
and a series about it would be good, in my opinion. And that's none other than when Marvel was called Atlas, and when it was before it was Marvel, but the Rawhide Kid, actually.
Oh.
Um, I know I feel that with the Rawhide Kid, and for anybody who out there is watching this who don't know that character, research him, you'll know he's a Western character, and the way Westerns are not as we don't get a lot of Westerns a lot in the cinema, but when they do come out, they are mostly always interesting, and Westerns don't come out as much as when our parents were young. There was like Western movies like nonstop back then, but the Rawhide
They came
Kid,
out every day.
once again, you have the fact that when we look at the cinematic universe in general, you know, in terms of the oldest enhanced hero, it would be Cap. He's the oldest. He's
Hmm.
considered the oldest in some sense. He's the first. But then you
Super.
have, he's the superhero. But Rawhide Kid he's just a normal guy with, he's kind of like, the Lone Ranger and things like that. And yeah, and don't get me started on that shit. But the fact of that is that with the Rawhide Kid, you could really play it up as like, okay, here's the way I would do it in a sense would be more of, the series would kind of be telling it from the tale of maybe one of his descendants. Like I'm trying to remember his name. What was the Rawhide Kid's
So it
name?
would kind of be like that 1872 comic that came out during Secret Wars, like that
Something
kind of
like
setting.
that. Like his Johnny Bart. That's his name. Basically, in a sense, what if his we're hearing all these they're like it's at they say the Natural History Museum, and or so, and he's one of his ancestors, his descendants is a curator there, and he's seeing all these kids, or she are seeing all these kids, with Captain America and Iron Man. I was like, Captain America is great. Oh yeah, and then he can tell a tale of this gunfighter from the 18th century, and tell it from that tale of like a 13-part western of showcasing, like, because the Rawhide Kid, he's fun, but he's also a character that can get really serious. Now the only problem is that yeah, he's also kind of like Jonah Hex in terms he time travels too. I would not want them to focus on that, showcasing him time traveling. Just keep him in his own century and tell it from that tale. And this would be also, in a sense, to kind of look at it from a competition standpoint. Good competition is good for business. Marvel could look at it like, hey, DC failed with their great comic, Western character, Jonah Hex. We're gonna nail it with this character, So it would like, in a sense,
Well,
would I probably somebody who knows Rawhide Kid would say, then Chris, would you address the fact that he's gay, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't care. I didn't care about that when they announced he was gay in the first place. But I think the Rawhide Kid would be one. That's why I went really odd with that one. I really wanted a period piece, Netflix series. I mean, so far I've not watched the Marco Polo series that's on Netflix, but I hear good things about it.
That series is amazing. You should
And
definitely
the
check it
fact
out.
is that one of the actors on there is going to play Wong. So I'm like, yeah, so okay, I got to check it out. So those series like that, a period piece could work on Netflix. I don't see it working on the big screen, but I do see it working on the small screen. A Netflix deal. So yeah, that's my number one, the Rawhide Kid. Okay.
Not bad.
Jay, who's your number two?
Okay, so like I said, I most of my list is building up to the Midnight Suns as a team. So my second one, and I actually see this in the comments. Let me make sure I get who said it correct. 1 second. Yep. So, Alana's here. What's up, Alana?
Hey.
Hello.
And then Cedric House says, actually said, I want to do Damien Hellstrom. And actually, that's my number two, Damien Hellstrom. And I would also include Satana in this as well.
Oh,
And
it's succubus sister.
and I mean, like, if you've seen, Lucifer just came out recently, and I think if they could pull this off on TV, they could definitely pull off, if they can pull off the devil himself on TV as a main character, they can pull off the devil's children. And I think it could be really cool. They could do like a whole kind of Devil May Cry. I think they could set it up as like a Devil May Cry situation where they open up like a business to, hunt down demons. Maybe they set up in Salem because that's where Hellstrom's, mansion is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that could be really cool.
Damien
Just
Hellstrom.
again.
Yeah, because.
And he's connected to Hellcat too. He was married to Hellcat for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
And the fact is like even though they call him the son of Satan, his dad is not necessarily Satan. So
It's just a demon that happens to be named Satan.
yeah, so yeah, and once again another character that you could really bring out focus, obviously with Doctor Strange again. So yeah, that's a good choice. That's another good choice. All right, you got a cast for like if you.
I have no idea who I would cast for Damien, but someone who I think could pull off Satana would be Crystal Reed, who played Allison on Teen Wolf. I think she could definitely pull it off.
Yeah, she could work in that sexy succubus way. She won't be like really.
I mean, and it's kind of funny. You think she's young, but she's actually like 31. I did not know that.
Yeah, a lot of the actors on that show is like in their 30s. But yeah, I could see that. Definitely, yeah. Like they don't really get along too well too because Damien, he wants to kind of use his abilities.
Yeah, to hide his abilities, whereas like Satana fully embraces them. I think it could be really cool. And like I said, Patsy, maybe that could be a means for Patsy to actually get her hell-based powers instead of just being, chick in a costume. Although I don't mind her just being a chick in a costume.
Oh yeah. Okay, Kyle, what's your number two?
I'd like to see White Tiger. I forget what's her name. I know her last name Del Toro. What's her first name?
Angelina Del Toro.
Good choice.
Thank you.
That's a good choice.
She's set up in this universe. I kind of wish she wasn't a private investigator, because it's like that'd be kind of hard differentiating herself from Jessica Jones. But I know how you could set it up. I mean, just do what Bendis did in his Daredevil run. What was the case he took after? It was in the last volume. It was in his first. It was the last arc in his first volume, where White Tiger, he got framed for a murder.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't commit, and and it was a really good story. story.
You're breaking
And
up.
say,
You're
or
breaking
just
up, Kyle. I couldn't hear you.
Say it again, because you broke up a little bit. I didn't hear that last part. Kyle?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're good.
all right. Sorry. What part did you lose me at?
I heard it's a very good story.
I guess Ultron was taking over, but it happens sometimes. It was a good story, but the artwork was by Dodson was a bit, it was iffy. It's not as good as Alex Maleeb's, but you could have that be her kind of set up to get the, what White Tiger has. I forgot what it's called.
The Jade Tiger amulet. That's what it is. The Jade Tiger. I would love to see a White Tiger series because her cousin had it first.
Yeah, wasn't it her uncle? It was her uncle, right?
Uncle Hector had it, and he was a hero that rolled. He represented the Bronx actually.
Yeah, my old borough. I mean,
and then Angelina, after he died, Angelina got the amulet, and she was an FBI agent at first. So
Yeah.
she didn't really used her powers as much, and then when she nearly died, when she got killed by Lady Bullseye,
Oh wow.
they resurrected her back to life. The hand did, but she didn't die. Like she was resurrected but
she was like a zombie.
yeah,
kinda.
kind of like corrupted and like really she stayed away from everybody, and But then it went to her niece, who is Hector's sister, Ava, that we see now. She has the powers now. And the thing about it is, for everybody who doesn't know, the tiger amulet that they carry, that actually comes from Kulun. So once again, another setup right there. Like, okay, if they want to go that route, like the amulet comes from the mystical city of Kulun, would be really cool. That's a good choice, Kyle. A very good choice.
Thank you. And I just looked at the comments, and apparently Lana just suggested that too. So I didn't know you said that, Lana. So it's like, but yeah, I think that'd be great. So and it's a legacy thing too. So you could choose any of them.
Yeah,
Basically.
I mean, and you could even start it off with like maybe if she is a private investigator, maybe Angelina investigates the death of her uncle. Maybe her uncle gets murdered, and like she gets the amulet from as like a kind of like it's bequeathed to her in like the funeral or whatever, and she just has to she's trying to figure out who killed him. That could be cool.
Why are we working at Marvel? Marvel, hire us, man.
Yeah, for real. Like you can get this for free.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I want for my Jessica Drew movie. You can work, and I'll be Taskmaster. It'll be great. Great.
Let's see. Okay, Brian, you're number 2.
All right, my number 2, like I said, building up to Lady Liberators.
Okay.
My number 2 is actually Valkyrie.
Which Valkyrie? You talking
Brunhilde.
You talking Brunhilde or the Earthbound Valkyrie?
Brunhilde.
Oh boy.
Samantha Pendragon would have been really cool too, actually.
Well,
Brunhilde.
Brunhilde is like a classic member of Lady Liberators.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about the original Valkyrie.
Yes.
The Asgardian Valkyrie. Okay.
Yes. And even though I could totally see Netflix going the whole fantasy route with her, my vision though is maybe like loosely adapting Fearless Defenders, kind of. Have it be like fish out of water story. We've already seen Lady Sif on Earth, and you could bring in Annabelle and maybe even Misty as like a sporting cast.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I see.
That could be interesting. I think I would watch that.
Okay.
Oh man.
I also brought up the Fearless Defenders because I've read the first volume of that, and it actually delves into her origins.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Valkyrie.
And
I wouldn't mind that. Keep
That'd be
going.
great.
She was
And
really
actually-
dope on the Secret Avengers. That's where I really got into her.
Dude, that relationship she had with Flash. Oh, man, I love that shit. That's some good shit. That's some good shit.
I wouldn't
Fucking
know
Flash is a lucky dude. Go ahead. Sorry, man.
It's okay. I was just gonna say, casting is kind of hard. If I had to pick someone, I might go with, you've heard of her, Teresa Palmer.
Nice.
Wait, who? I didn't hear that. Who?
Teresa Palmer. She was
What's
in that
from?
movie, Warm Bodies.
I never seen that movie. So.
Wait, the zombie movie?
Yeah, but she was also
Oh,
in I Am Number 6. She was
She was
in number
okay.
6.
She was number 4, wasn't she?
She was number 6.
Yeah, she was number 6. Oh, wow.
oh, okay.
Yeah, she.
Now I really know who you're talking about. Okay, that makes.
Okay.
I can see that.
I actually like that movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I really do kind of wish it got a sequel. But
That's the sucky thing though is at that time I was friends with someone who read the books that's based on the book sequel for I Am Number 4 was basically I Am Number 6 and starred her.
huh?
So it would have been a movie starring her, which sucks.
That's pretty cool.
That's and to think about it, it's a movie that actually was produced by Michael Bay and I actually liked it.
And that was pretty decent. And it was actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
Okay,
She was the best part.
Valkyrie, I wouldn't mind seeing
Didn't see
a lot of.
I must have missed it.
I wouldn't mind seeing a lot of some of the Asgardians get their own like Netflix. I wouldn't mind seeing. He's not on my list, but yes, I would have if Jamie Alexander wasn't on such and such now on Blind Spot.
Blind Spot.
Yeah.
He's doing such a great job on. I would have seen her. They would have got about a Lady Sif series on Netflix for her because I think she would have. She's a character that just needs so much more than what she gets on the movies, and it sucks. It really does.
She would have made my list if it weren't for the fact that Jamie Alexander is on Blind Spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 2 is actually, and if anybody else has this, then we're going to talk about it right now. My number 2, and I think it is kind of being set up, is The Daughters of the Dragon, Mr. Colleen Wing.
Yeah.
If nobody's never read any of their miniseries, I recommend them. Those are really good. You just see the sisterhood between these two. You know,
Pretty much like Cagney and Lacey type of thing.
They're like the Cagney and Lacey of the Marvel Universe. They're, you know, here you got this badass cop, former cop with a bionic arm that was given to her by Tony Stark after it got blown off in a terrorist bombing. And it makes me wonder how they're going to pull that. Is she going to lose her arm in Luke's series?
I mean, Coulson lost his arm, so they could pull it. They could definitely do it.
And then you got this samurai girl, Colleen Wing, who is half Chinese, half Japanese, who knows the way of Bushido. And they are just these two chicks that just are privatized. They have their own, you know, investigation. And it was kind of interesting because, yeah, we don't know. We only know that Jessica only mentioned Del Toro. She's like, okay, but what if they, after, you know, what goes down with maybe Luke and maybe if Colleen does guess in, you know, the Iron Fist series, which I think she will.
Yeah, Money says she's probably going to appear in Danny's, maybe as a love interest.
And I would actually like to see them maybe get together at one point, and they're maybe in the Defenders, and they're like, you know, they'll pull at me like a little bit of a Starsky and Hutch. I like your style, yeah. I like your movie, girl. Like, want to get, you know, let's team up. Like, you know, want to start a group together. Like, let's start something, you know, because, and the fact is, like, with Misty being this great cop, you know, there was this great cop she was, and when she got injured, she didn't want to take a desk job. You know, she was like, I don't want to be in a desk job, you know, and and because of her bravery in that situation, Tony Stark awarded her with a prosthetic arm that was bionic, and it kept getting upgraded over time to the point now, at one point, she couldn't really do much with it. Like, it was just a big, clunky arm that, you know, it gave her super strength, but even still, it's like her, if she picked up something really heavy, still the weight of her is still like, she's still the weight kind of balancing it, so she'll fall over to the point now where she has her new arm. Now it's almost like it's got repulsor rays and stuff in it, like it can freeze stuff and fire blast, and now when she picks stuff up, it's no problem. Like, I've seen her in one of the series, the Rhino was in it, and she was pimp slapping the Rhino around with the arm, and she threw him like it was nothing. I was like, wow. And Colleen just made characters like I forgot who she was facing, but I remember she was facing a real tough opponent. She
fought the Taskmaster once.
Yeah, she fought Taskmaster, and she made Taskmaster look like a joke at one point. I'm like, go Colleen, you know? It's like, and I can even see who they can like have as one of the villains throughout the series is Ravana. If anybody, once again, you don't know who that character is, you want to research it. It's spelled Revanna, and you'll find who I'm talking about. So yeah, the Daughters of the Dragon is another one I think could work. And you talk about, you know, Marvel was really trying to, and it's not even like pushing diversity, but it's just, these are two characters that could work. Here you got this African American and you got this Asian character, which, in my opinion, we don't get enough of because of that. And I have a lot of Asian friends, and you know, that's something that they always tell me is like, we don't see enough heroes that look like me, Chris. And it's just like, I understand that more than you think. Like, you know, so seeing Colleen, you know, I would love to see that. And I still feel that if they do get Colleen, I still think Maggie Q could rock that.
Yep. Maggie Q. I have three: Maggie Q, Jamie Chung, Arden Cho. Those are my three.
Yeah, like I think Maggie Q and who else do you say? Jamie Chung.
I said Jamie Chung and Arden Cho. I think because I mean, like, if you look at Kira's sword work, oh my God.
I just want to throw one more out there.
What's that?
Colleen. I told Jay about this, and I recently did it in a video. Lena Jade, Shadow from Arrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially when you see her latest video that she posted on Facebook.
Yeah, she does sword work, which is actually really well. Like, she's really well versed in sword training.
Her dad actually at one point worked with Bruce Lee.
Oh, really? Whoa, that's a good pedigree. I think another choice I would put in there for Colleen is I fell in love with her after I saw her as Chun-Li, is Samantha Yo.
Oh, Samantha Yo is cool.
I was like, yeah, she could probably rock it too as Colleen. You know,
I'm hoping to get her for Assassin's Fist 2.
Yeah, I would hope to see that too. But yeah, that's my number two, is a duo series that kind of spins out of maybe Defenders or something once again. Yeah, there you go. Colleen and Misty Knight, the Daughters of the Dragon. So okay, we're on number 3. Jay, what's your number 3?
All right, cool. And actually, since you did a duo, my number 3 is actually also a duo, and I figured out how we could work this one out, spinning out of Jessica Jones, kind of. And my duo is none other than Ty and Tandy, aka Cloak and Dagger, who Marvel have been trying to push to get a TV show for the longest time.
Yeah.
Bitch, you took my.
Oh, Kyle, you got Cloak and Dagger too?
Kyle, you got it too, Kyle?
Kyle, he walked away. Oh, he needed to take his ball and go home.
If Kyle has it, yeah, then you guys talk. Go ahead. Guys, talk
I mean, I had it on the list. But I'll let Jay have the floor. He knows the characters better than me, but I wanted to see them, but yeah, he has the floor. He can go ahead, man.
Oh, okay, Kyle. All right. So how I think this could work, right, is we got to establish that there's like a company out there, IGH, which we could speculate is probably in human growth hormone. Now, if you guys know Cloak and Dagger story, they got their power, they're mutates. They got their powers through a drug.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking they could use human growth hormone as a means of them getting their powers. And
Would
then
not to cut you off, would you still continue to have that they both are runaways?
oh yeah, I would still put that in there that like they were runaways and they're living on the streets.
On the street and stuff. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I would still put that in there. Well, one thing I would actually add that the like the 616 version never got, I would put them together. Like I never understood why they were never together.
Yeah, I will admit, after all the years they've been a duo, it's always been written, and most writers have always written them where we see Tyrone monologuing about how much he loves Tandy, and like how much he cares for her, and I'm like, dude, didn't.
Yeah.
You guys are light and dark. You guys work so well together.
And it could be really cool to explore like the Dark Force powers and stuff like that. And Tandy's light abilities are really cool.
Which they've already kind of teased that already in the MCU already, Dark Force powers and stuff.
Yep. So I mean, Cloak and Dagger could really work. And my casting for it, I've been saying this for years, years and years. And I mean, Fox, you fucked up with this actor. Let the MCU take him. Michael B. Jordan as Cloak and Kristen Bell as Dagger.
I remember doing that. I remember actually basically doing a fan casting for Cloak and Dagger, and I said the same people, Kristen Bell and Michael B. Jordan as Cloak and Dagger. That would so work.
Yeah, because I mean, and like you just base it off of you do the whole IGH thing, and hell, you could even in Jessica Jones season 2, if she's doing another case, one of the cases she did in Alias was a mutant runaway, so maybe one of the runaways she deals with is Cloak and Dagger, and maybe that could be a setup for Cloak and Dagger in the future. I think it could be really cool.
All right, before we go to Brian,
Kyle.
Sorry, Kyle. Jay, any comments?
All right, let's see. I'm going to pull up the page again. Give me a sec. Okay, there we go.
If you see one.
Oh, Tony's here. Tony's here too.
Okay.
If you see one that says Kyle Fury Rises, that wasn't me.
All right. Oh, Chris, Dark Avenger C86. Chris is here.
For real?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
We got some more comments from Alana. Chris, Dark Avenger Chris says he would like a Runaway series.
Runaways, I could definitely take that.
That would be. I think that would be really cool.
I think there was a Cedric, right? He was giving off his name.
Yeah, Cedric was listing off Punisher, Moon Knight, and I believe he said Hellstrom from Midnight Suns. Steve is here, and Steve said he would like a... Not Steve, Tony's here. I'm looking at it wrong. Tony's here. And Tony said he would like a Young Avenger series. Yeah, Steve Jr., I guess. That's if that's what you want to go with.
I'm looking too. I see one. He also said the Black Knight, Dane Whitman. Ooh, that's a good one, Tony. I'd take that. I would love to see them.
Which Black Knight? Oh, so you're going with Dane. So the modern day Black Knight. Cool.
Yeah, Dane Whitman and dealing with the Ebony Blade. That'd be cool. I'll take that. Omnitron. I'm no Omnitron here. I'm gonna throw this out here, but this could work. Squirrel Girl.
You know, there was this ongoing joke going that the annoying neighbor chick was gonna end up turning into Squirrel Girl.
From what?
From Jessica Jones.
From
Jessica Jones, yeah. Because she had those teeth.
Oh.
She had those teeth.
She was on my list.
Oh, nice.
Okay, Squirrel Girl. All right. Okay, so those are all the comments so far.
Yep.
Okay,
so far that I'm seeing.
Load it up one more time.
Yeah.
All right, let me just.
Okay, Kyle, hit us with your number 3.
All right. Well, so technically, I'm not gonna lie. When Chris just tells me to hit him up with these numbers, these aren't in any order. I so these aren't in any order. But this is the one I'd probably most like to see. But it would take a couple movies. This would kind of spawn out of the movies, and for God's sakes, we can't get him serialized in Netflix. We have to have him in movies because they sell. I'd like to see an Agent Venom series. I don't know how massive of a budget Netflix has to do a symbiote, but I'd like to see it. It would be an interesting take, for Flash. It'd be interesting, It would,
I would
have
love
the symbiote
that.
with Eddie Brock and well, and I know people would hate this because it's not like the comics, but we could do Carnage there and have him face Carnage. And I know he wouldn't be facing Spider-Man. Well, we can't have Carnage in a PG-13 movie. Sure, he'd look great in a PG-13 movie, but he works for R-rated R shit. So I'd like an Agent Venom series, and then you can kind of maybe tie him together with him and Valkyrie and Hilda, So it's like, and then they can have some sex, and then it's done. So
Kyle just wants to see.
I look at let's look at it from that point of view. Like you talk about building up, and I can understand that. We don't know what characters they're going to be using with this new Sony and Marvel deal for the Spider-Man stuff. We don't know what characters they're going to be. I think we all feel that Venom needs to be done again somewhere down the line, and I would like. I'd liked Flash I like Flash as Venom.
yeah.
I like him.
I like him more than Brock. Brock is just kind of a dumb jock.
Well, I like Flash as Venom. I think you get a little bit of a sympathy with him as Venom because here's a guy who was a soldier at one point, lost his legs, and he didn't know where he was going to go. And then the government has the Venom symbiote, gives it to him and says, you're going to be our new agent now. And at first it's hard to control. I've said it before. I like Flash as Venom more than I like Matt Gargan as Venom. I hated that. I was like, oh, God. But I like Venom. And now look at Flash now. He actually now has become fully evolved with the symbiote now, which is not even called the symbiote. Their real alien name is called the Kitar. I almost getting the name of it, but we found out more about the symbiote in.
The Clentar. Clentar. That's what they're called.
We found out more about his run. We found out more about what the symbiote, their true purpose was in Guardians of the Galaxy. So. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing
that could even spin off of Guardians. Yeah, you're right. That could be cool.
It could spin off too because I mean, look, we're hearing all these rumors about Volume 2 that Ego is going to be in that. We're going to see a living planet with a face and a beard.
Do you think he's going to have the face? Do you think they're going to give him the face, or do you think he's just going to talk? Do you think he's just going to talk to them telepathically? Because I don't know if I could take a planet with a face seriously.
If they're going to have Ego in there, there's no more what they could do with that, but. I think Kyle, that's a cool choice.
I have a question.
I like that.
And also, sorry, Brian, I'll let you go after I'm done. Sorry, and also we're gonna probably get one Spider-Man movie every phase, so it's like kind of capitalize on. Hey, Spider-Man's here. Marvel and Sony, we're working together, so let's do it. I mean, it'd take films, and yes, I know Omnitron's like Eddie has to be Venom. But, have Eddie be Venom first, and then maybe, I don't know, if we have like an organization down that line, take symbiote, and then, give it to, Flash. I want that so bad. Like, that'd be great.
I mean, Eddie can still be Venom for a while, and then, like Kyle said, just build it up later. Like, it doesn't mean he has to be Agent Venom right away.
Yeah. You can have Eddie as Venom, and then Eddie loses it. I say he can go from being anti-Venom and then being Toxin because that's what he is now. He's kind of crazed up now under Toxin, but
well, this kind of leads to my question that I mentioned earlier. Is I was just curious how you guys would feel if they did similar to the to that cartoon out right now, Ultimate Spider-Man, wherein their origin for Venom was that Spidey had him, but then he left and he immediately went to Flash.
I feel like you still. I feel like it would piss fans off if you don't have Eddie for a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think in some ways I like the idea, Brian. Not saying I don't, but I think it would kind of tick some hardcore Venom fans off. I'm a Venom fan, but I'm not that hardcore. But I think in some way Eddie Brock needs to be Venom for a while before it can move on to the next host or so.
I'm not saying they
Yeah.
should. I just wanted to know your thoughts on if they did that.
And you know,
Tony says ego must have a face.
yeah.
I want to laugh.
I'm sorry, Ego has to have the face. I mean, I can't.
Yep.
He shouldn't be Mogo. He shouldn't be Mogo. He's got to be. He got to have the face. I'm sorry. Even if they just talk for a while, like they're on the planet and then his face just appears there, or something like
Oh
that.
my god.
I'm saying like, so. What was I saying?
laugh.
Oh, yeah, about Venom. Also, last thing I think about Venom is that you know, with Eddie is, you know, you keep him. Do we do the original origin where it comes, the symbiote is from space? To me, I think it should be from space and not created by as a means of because in the Ultimate Comics, what was it? It was a means of curing
It was a
cancer.
cure for cancer.
Yeah, it was a cancer suit. It was based off of Parker DNA. Like Parker used his own DNA mixed with some of that like experimental super soldier crap that they were trying to like formulate up.
Yeah, it was good for that universe, but
Yeah, I think for this one, especially since we established Guardians already, we could
Yeah.
we could even have it be like it attached to the ship when the Guardians come for Infinity War, and that's that could
thing is,
like Secret Wars.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Like if maybe the Guardians were somewhere and it latched onto it, and when it lands, yeah, okay, because I swear to God, if they do Spider-Man 3 where it just falls out of the sky, I'm gonna be pissed.
oh my god.
When it came down, I was like, someone needs to like put in bold letters, lazy. You know, it's just like
I was like, oh look, a shooting star. What did you wish for? Plot convenience.
yeah, exactly. Also, is it okay if I read off some of the comments here since we got a lot?
oh yeah, sure.
Go ahead. Hit 'em.
Man, we got a lot. This is
All right, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I got him. Yeah. Got Tony. Oh hell no! You did not just call me Steve Jr. I think I did. You got Cedric House. Maybe the Inhuman Inferno could be a good series. I can take that.
Yeah, Inferno's cool. I like Dante.
Let's see. I want to read Chris's out because I missed that. He says my ex was obsessed with the Runaways and she got into them. That's how sometimes it goes, you know.
Moon. Oh, that could be a cartoon. Okay, said. Also said he thinks that a Herc series would be awesome as well.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Oh,
You almost made mine.
yes. Since he is a public domain character, they wouldn't get in trouble with using him. So
Yep.
it would be really interesting to establish. I've always felt that they need to establish other pantheons and make it. I feel that he should be.
And he could be Chris, you were talking about how competition is good for business.
Yeah.
I mean, we got Wonder Woman over here who's a demigod.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and bring out Marvel's demigod and just be like, yeah.
And if you don't want to like spend a lot of money on like effects and all, you could do the run of Herc where he ran a bar and was powerless for a while.
Oh, you're talking about his Greg Pak's run.
Yeah.
He gave up his godhood, but he was still being the hero. He just had all Ares weapons, all his weapons.
Yeah, and he is Marvel's first hero. I mean, besides Gilgamesh, but I mean, like.
Yeah. And I've been loving the series that.
The new series has been great. Abnett is killing it.
So I would love to see Herc. Herc is another one and he actually was a guy I actually would have loved to seen as an Avenger.
And he's Thor's cousin, so that, you could mess with that too.
But see, that's the thing right there. Is like, since they've established in the MCU that Thor, the Asgardian, is like alien instead of God, and Thor's mother was actually Frigga instead of Gaia, the goddess, the Greek god of Earth. But yeah, in the comics, they're cousins. That's why how they're related. So I would still love to see her. Go ahead, Kyle. Anybody else?
We got two more from Tony, and then we got one from Omnitron, which I approve of this one. But the first two that next two, anyways, he says a Jack of Hearts would be an awesome series to do. And he also says, and this one, I think this is where Brian, you probably get maybe Squirrel Girl. He says, I would love to have a Great Lakes Avengers series. It would be like a superhero sitcom. And then the one that I really approve of from Omnitron, he said Fantastic Four. Come on, we all know they're going back to Marvel.
I think they would work. A TV series, yes. A Netflix series, yeah. I mean, because how many times are we going to keep seeing them be put on the big screen and kind of tank?
They have too much story to cram into 2 hours, man.
Exactly. There's too much history with that family to just be crammed into a 2-hour story. So yeah, I can agree with that. But I think you missed one, Kyle. He also said he said a Man Thing would be, so we get a new Man Thing, another Man Thing. I actually watched that movie they did back, and oh my god. Man Thing. Chris, I hear you saying if we could get more space. Nova, Richard Rider, God damn it!
Oh yeah,
I'd love to see that.
I'd love to see Nova in the movies, though. I
feel like space is more you need the movies for the effects. So
I actually okay, go ahead, because I actually have a character. So who's Brian? Go ahead. You're number 3.
All right. I was gonna say something else, but
no, go ahead. Finish your thought. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say
anyway.
I was just gonna say that it's not on my list, but the only way that I could see bringing in Richard Rider in Netflix is if they went on and full did a New Warriors show.
I'd be down for that. I'd be so down.
Are we talking the original team? We're talking original team.
I don't know. It was just an idea that I threw out at the last minute.
Well, yeah, the original team, yeah, that would be cool. Like see Robbie and Night Thrasher and oh man.
But
I wish Marvel had the rights to Namor, because then Namorita could be on the team as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my real number 3, as Chris previously mentioned, is Squirrel Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel that, I know people are saying that it's more lighthearted and wouldn't that be better fit on ABC or Freeform or something, but anyway, I think that what you do is you bring that dark atmosphere of the Netflix Marvel, but have her be a contrast to that.
Oh, that's interesting.
And as far as story goes, you could have it be kind of like the current series where she's just a college student. And as far as villains go, I actually did think about this for a while.
Is she gonna fight Galactus or Thanos?
Well, in my mind, because the Fantastic Four is still up in the air. So in my mind, I actually had it that she could go up against maybe the Serpent Squad.
Oh, the Serpent Society. That's cool.
Oh, the Serpent Society.
Yeah, Serpent Society. Sorry.
I think it would be funny if they did like in the comic where she goes up against Kraven the Hunter. That would be hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and also, I had the idea of what if maybe we used her series to maybe bring in other obscure young heroes, like maybe one that came to mind was Anya Corazon.
Oh, cool.
He's kind of funny because somebody just mentioned Spider Girl, 616 Spider Girl.
There you go.
Now, my, my
Aranha.
biggest
Yeah.
my biggest question is this: Marvel's got the rights to Squirrel Girl, right? Because she's a mutant, am I correct? Or
Yeah, see, yeah,
I mean, no. Well, they corrected that in the comics recently.
Well-
She's technically inhuman.
but then they're saying that she's still kind of mutant because, like I said, currently, like I said, she's in New Avengers right now, and since Roberto Sunspot's powers are kind of acting, he can't really use his powers no more because of the Terrigen. You know, they even Clint even pointed it out again. He was like, "But how come it's not working on Doreen? She's a mutant too." And then that's when she said, like, "Well, technically, I'm half mutant, half inhuman, or something like that." So I'm
So
like,
she's a Beyonder.
yeah, she's kind of
Okay.
like beyond her. So I'm like, okay, all right. So, but yeah, I would assume, yeah, she's an inhuman.
I mean, that's
so
a great idea, Brian. I love the
also-
Squirrel Girl series, and just don't do the current stuff where she's like all like woohoo, woohoo, like
Good
you know,
time,
please,
Squirrel Girl.
God. Yes,
Well, I
I
don't
would.
know.
Ugh.
I meant use the college aspect. That's what I was saying earlier. Is just use the college aspect, and so you.
I think I might have a casting for Squirrel Girl. Now that I think about it, and ironically, this person was on a Netflix series. The chick who is the main character on Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt would be the perfect Doreen Green.
Well, I also
Yeah.
I also had another fan cast for Squirrel Girl, but she's kind of busy right now with a show that's on Freeform, so it wouldn't really work. But if you guys ever watched the show Warehouse 13,
I love that show.
Oh, nice.
Claudia.
Yeah.
Claudia.
Oh,
Oh, who played Claudia? Oh, yeah.
that could really work. But
But she's
like
very-
the reason I say the chick from Kimmy Schmidt is because she just has that Doreen type of personality.
I just
Yeah.
love Jay's expression. Yeah.
I guess it's my turn to go next.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
My number 3. I'm gonna save that guy for later. But my number 3, and this probably get a big response from a lot of people in the comment section because I'm not looking at the comments. But I feel that not only in terms of diversity, but just pure-blooded martial arts. We're talking the master of kung fu.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And-
Shang-Chi. Yeah.
I love Shang-Chi. You know, that was one thing about Hickman's run of Avengers I praised him for. I remember tweeting that guy like all the time, like, thank you for putting him on the team. Thank you for putting him on the team. I love Shang-Chi's story. His story is very emotional, and it could work on a Netflix series. If they can do, what's that series that just passed on AMC?
Into the Badlands. Into the Badlands.
Into the
I love
Badlands.
that show.
Look how that series was.
It's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon,
Dude,
meets
I mean,
Mad Max.
You look at Shang-Chi.
amazing.
Here's a guy who, yeah, of course, we all know that the perfect guy would have been Mr. Lee himself.
Yeah.
So, but there's still other guys that probably could pull off that character. And still to this day, when you look at Shang-Chi's story, here's a guy who grew up, who was basically taken from his mother by his father, Fu Manchu. Yeah, that's his father's name. I'm not joking about that.
And he actually has a Fu Manchu.
Yeah, and basically he was raised in very like the lowlands of China, where all he did every day was train. He had no contact with anybody except his teachers, whoever was training him. And what Shang grew up to think was his dad was the best. Was, hey, that's my dad. He's great. He's a humanitarian, things like that. And I'm just going to be there to protect him. And later on, what we happen? His father tells him, "You're going to London, and you're going to stop this person because this person is trying to kill me." Finds out that the person that his father sent him to kill was his own mother, and that's where his mother gave him the whole real story about his father. And you can even take more of the story from his his Max series, his Marvel Max series, where he was where he was working for, like, I think it was MI6 or something like that. And he's worked for MI6 before, and it's just like this would be pure-blooded martial arts, no real, no real superpowers. I mean, you could probably add some characters in martial arts characters who kind of got a little bit of powers, but
Yeah, and Omnitron says that they could introduce him as Iron Fist, which I would be okay with.
exactly,
Yeah.
Iron Fist would be cool too. But Shang is another one I feel because once again, I'm looking at it from a point of view of like my Asian friends. It's like here's a character, a hero who looks like them and is not portrayed as a overlord or a gangster in the yakuza or just a villain. Period. Here's a character that looks like you guys, and it's like, yay. In a sense, it's all about. I'm all about diversity, and Shang is one of those Marvel characters that he could fit with Netflix. I can't really see him in a movie, really, to some degree. And I really don't want to see him just shoved into, let's say, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or that series of Mockingbird that's coming out now. That's going to be, I just don't feel like he needs to be shoved in there. Just like, oh, yeah, we put Shang-Chi in there. But, no, give him purpose and why he's. So, yeah, Shang would be definitely a good choice for me.
God. The biggest crime they was putting Mockingbird in that show is like, God damn it, you fucking.
Yeah, because you could have used. I mean, you could even use the same actress. She would have been so cool in the movies interacting with Clint.
I still think the casting for Mockingbird was perfect. Adrian Pollock was perfect for that role. I mean, I like her as Bobby. I'm like, yeah.
I'm still kind of disappointed that they didn't try that Wonder Woman pilot because.
I'm glad they didn't. I saw it. It was really bad.
I understand the pilot was bad, but I feel like if they had just retweaked it and like given it more time, it would have been pretty cool. But oh well, whatever.
And also,
movie.
Go ahead, Kyle. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say the disappointing thing of having an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show is, well, also one thing I had planned for Steve Rogers in the movies, but I would have. This is just like what I would have loved. I would have loved to have seen like a Nick Fury series, with Samuel Jackson, because we got to remember Nick Fury's old. He has the Infinity Formula in him. I would love to see a kind of gritty, kind of noir kind of.
Oh yeah, like Fury Max. Fury Max.
That'd be good, Kyle. Because let's face it, when we look at
I would have wished, but
when we look at Nick Fury in the MCU, and remember Winter Soldier, where his grave, it doesn't say when he was born, so it's like then you can really guess. Okay, like all right, but we don't know if. And the other thing about it is, once again, is like we don't know if he has the Infinity Form. See, that's the part I don't like, is that we bet that he doesn't have.
I would have liked them to do that with Scarlett Johansson too. When Zemo scanned her, I was hoping they would have said like born in 1942 or something like that. And,
that's what I thought they were gonna go.
And then Steve is like, "You're as old as me," and it's like, "Yeah, Fury found the Infinity Formula." That kind of, I think it would have been really cool. But oh well, it's done. What's done is done.
I mean, I like Samuel Jackson. He's great, but Nick Fury in the comics, I love him at times, but he's a motherfucker. He's a punk. He's a punk, basically. He's not punk, but he's an asshole. And you could really show that. It's like, yeah, we love this guy in the movies, but he's got a dark side to him. And Nick Fury is, he gets his hands dirty. He's not afraid to get his hands dirty at all. I mean, you could show that. You could have like little vignettes, or you could, different stories in different time periods for the guy. But that would have just been an if we didn't have like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., just to see him build it. But that would probably never happen. But whoever.
And no, because even to go more on your sentence, Kyle, Sam Jackson has said he would love to do a series or a movie just about Nick Fury. I mean, let's face it, the Nick Fury stuff that we have gotten in terms of just solo. Last thing I can think of was that David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff was Nick Fury? What the fuck?
He was Nick Fury. David Hasselhoff was Nick Fury.
It was for a failed TV show that they just turned the pilot into a TV movie.
What the fuck?
I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but it was. It was
I
Jeremy.
thought Flesh.
But I mean, you
If
can build
anybody doesn't
Nick
believe me,
Fury as a character.
go research it. It used to come on Sci-Fi
Yeah.
Channel a lot.
I can't.
What makes it so funny is I love David Hasselhoff because he's somebody I grew up with Knight Rider and stuff like that. But to watch Michael Knight try to be a badass and like, yeah, I'm kick your ass, and I'm like, yeah, you're not pulling it off.
He had the Batman voice before Christian Bale.
Not gonna lie though, the perfect Nick Fury, and I like Samuel Jackson, but the perfect Nick Fury would have been Clint Eastwood.
Hell yes.
He would have
That would have been the
Yes.
perfect Nick Fury. If they had went with Caucasian Nick Fury, that would have been my choice right there, Nick Fury. I would have just loved. My name is Nick Fury. You bastards! I'll kick your ass. Something like that.
Oh my god.
There's little
Oh yeah, that's right. We did kind of see Nick Fury. Malcolm said, if you remember Arnold Schwarzenegger's movie True Lies, Charleston Heston actually played Nick Fury because he had an eye patch in that movie.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh man.
I love how I turned this into Nick Fury love. This is nice.
My stomach hurts now.
I'm dead serious, Jay. I'm not joking about it.
I'm gonna look this up after we get off because I need to check this out.
All right. So number 4, Jay. Start with your number 4.
All right, so again, we're going back into the supernatural with mine, and I'm sure this is probably on a lot of people's list. This is why I saved it for later, and to lead up to it, I'm gonna quote a line, one of my favorite lines from the movie. Some motherfuckers just keep trying to skate uphill.
So we're going to Eric Brooks, Mr. Eric Brooks.
He took another one. He took another one.
Oh man! Oh, we lost. Oh, Kyle lost me again.
All right. All right. So you talk about Blade, all right.
Yep.
We're dealing with vampires and stuff. Once again, vampires have not been introduced yet in this universe yet. How do you pull that off?
Well, I would say like once Strange becomes more public, he kind of sheds more light on the more underground side of the Marvel universe, and then like we could even see like some hidden clubs, and maybe like a low level, or maybe like a crime boss we get introduced to, maybe even in like maybe Luke Cage or whatever. We don't even get hints that he's a vampire. We could get introduced to like Deacon Frost as just like a gangster or whatever, and it could be really cool.
Okay, because for me, I look at it like I'd take that advice, that idea too, but also put a fact that vampires come from another dimension. Like once again, they saying Strange is going to be dealing with different dimensions. So what if somehow whatever Strange deals with, he kind of opens a rift that's still left open?
Oh, that could be cool.
And a certain vampire by the name of Deacon Frost comes into our world, and he bites, and he so happens to be in London. He bites Eric's mom, who is pregnant, and there you go. I mean, that's a good way of looking at it. Or maybe not even Strange. What if, because even though Strange is coming, like, we got to remember that the Sorcerer Supreme, there's been others before him. So
and the Ancient One's been maybe the Ancient One opened up something, and the vampires have been around for a while, but the Ancient One has been keeping them under wraps or in control. But after the Ancient One dies, like they decide to like rise up.
Yeah, I still think Blade works better on a TV series, but a Netflix. I remember the last series they did with Sticky Fingers. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It had potential. It got good when he started being Blade, because in their first couple of episodes he was not Blade. He was just
the coolest Blade-related thing we've gotten in recent years was the Blade anime.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
I actually really enjoyed the Blade anime.
The only thing I did not enjoy was that he only knew one technique, which was getting on my goddamn nerves with that one.
I got one question for you.
Go ahead.
Another, how would you feel? Not, I think it should happen, but But since the Marvel Cinematic Universe sometimes likes to incorporate things that are currently going on in comics, how would you feel if they incorporated Eric's daughter?
That could be cool.
Yeah,
We
we haven't
we still don't know we still don't know information about her yet.
that's
But I
the
think
problem.
I know, but still, Marvel sometimes.
Yeah, Faya Gray, that's her name. Yeah, Faya Gray.
and you could if you incorporate her and her dad, you could even pull like a Buffy-esque kind of thing.
Okay, I'm looking at one of the comments here. Segward House says Taskmaster could be the villain in the Defenders, or he could be in his own show.
Taking away from my Jessica Jones movie. What's wrong with you? Just everyone's fine with me.
Then I got Alana here, who says, how about a Ant-Man series with Hank Pym, showcasing Hank Pym?
I was gonna take that
Can Netflix afford Michael Douglas on TV?
Well, I think she means young.
Young, we're talking about young Hank.
Oh, like young.
And look, I don't know.
Period.
As far as I'm concerned, if Netflix can get an actor like of a caliber of Kevin Spacey, they can get Michael Douglas. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
So yeah, Hank, a series about Hank Pym would be good, showcasing what he was doing during his time as. Because I wanted, that was one thing I wanted more of in the Ant-Man series. Like, what was he like as Ant-Man? What was he doing? You know.
And maybe cinematic Hank can be less of a douche, unlikable than comic Hank. Because let's face it, nobody likes regular Hank.
Yeah.
I think the problem is from my perspective of why people don't like him is this, people. That's it.
No, I just
there's that, but I feel like he's just a whiny little bitch.
Man, I'm like, it's like sometimes I'm just like, he has to die. You know, it's like this guy has to die.
It's like no one understands me. No one values my work. All I'm known for is creating a monster.
I mean,
Hank.
I respect Hank for what he is. I respect him. One thing I respect about him is, yes, he is a founding member of Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I give him that. I don't appreciate the domestic violence that he did, and it was and in the comics it was just one slap, a push, but Millar and Fat Quesada takes it too far when he got big and started hitting. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
Oh man, that was too much. He took the fucking raid and
then
her.
And then that Hank when he became the Wasp for a while in memory of Janet. I thought that was fine, but I can understand.
I like his Wasp costume.
Yeah, I can understand people's concern why they don't like him. It's like, yeah, what you guys are saying. Oh, woe is me. Nobody cares. I'm not even in the category of smart. I'm not smart as Reed. I'm not smart as Tony. I'm not smart as Bruce Banner, and of course...
there was even a point where he was like, man, even Peter Parker's smarter than me. Like, dude, Peter Parker's on the genius level. Like, chill the fuck out, Hank.
Dude, you invented Pym particles.
You invented... Yeah, exactly, Brian. You invented Pym particles that a lot of the size manipulation characters in the Marvel Universe uses, and... of course, you don't have a big rogues gallery. I mean, Egghead. We saw another one of his villains in Ant-Man. But still, it's just like, I respect him, but I did like how they portrayed him in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. He was like a pacifist, and he always.
I like that. But he became Yellow Jacket, but my opinion on Hank Pym is exactly what. Christian Batman says, nothing, you garbage. It's like,
this is one of the first times Kyle and I have agreed all night.
What?
I mean, besides our choices, us we just keep agreeing on stuff. We're getting the same character choices, and we have the same opinion on Hank Pym.
Okay,
I know.
Tony.
You told me I'd love Star Wars, but I thought it was okay. I mean,
Tony has. He says, "Brother Voodoo." I would take Brother Voodoo.
Oh,
I would like that. Which brother? Because there's Jericho and then there's Drum.
I think Jericho's the more well-known one, I believe.
Yeah, isn't Jericho was the one that became the Sorcerer Supreme for a little bit during Bendis' run, right?
And then he says Monica Rambeau, aka Photon, aka Spectrum, aka Captain Marvel. She's at it. I think Monica. I feel that. Why do I have a feeling she may be introduced in Captain Marvel? Actually,
She could be. I could also see her in Shield, maybe. Like, maybe if they do a sword thing.
yeah.
I don't want to be giving too much away, but I might be mentioning her later.
Well, hopefully
And Jared Flowers. Hey, Jared, how you doing?
Hello.
Jay Flo is here. Let's see. Okay, so that was Kyle's number 4. No, Jay, you went. Okay, Kyle, what's your number 4?
Well, I was gonna use Alana's and just say, I took it, and I'd be like, Alana, I'll pay you later. We'll work something out. But for Hank Pym. But you know what? I was gonna hold off on this. But I'm gonna choose Moon Knight. I'm gonna go with Moon Knight.
That was on mine too.
All right.
That was on mine too.
Okay, let's talk about Mark Spector.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have, because that's an obvious pick. But
Yeah.
Moon, not yet. Okay, let's talk about Moon Knight. First of all, what I don't want them to focus on in the series is that this guy has.
Oh man, really?
That's his 4th. Like multiple personality disorder.
I think that would be really cool though. Like,
I'm not saying don't focus on it, but don't focus so heavy on it, because when he first came out, the original creators, they really didn't play that up. Like, those personalities that he had was just his means of, like his character Jack Crawley was he was a cab driver, and that was his means of keeping on the streets, what's going on in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had a rich social life personality that he would.
So it's kind of like Matches Malone with Batman.
Yeah, there you go. It was like Matches Malone. That was how he would do it. But then when Bendis took over, he went really heavy into this guy. Crazy. He's nuts.
You're talking about the LA series where they killed off Echo?
Yeah, and all that stuff. Like, yeah, he's a schizo or stuff like that. I mean.
It'd be really funny though. It'd be like he's like talking to the personalities, like, "Shut up, leave me alone. I don't want you around anymore."
Now, could you imagine, like, they pull a Green Goblin, he's like staring at the mirror, you just see a bunch of different reflections.
And the thing about it also is with Moon Knight is that if they do it, I want it the real origin. He didn't die, like, because Bendis wrote it was like all that stuff that the original creators did. It was all in his head. He didn't die, and he wasn't resurrected back to life by the Egyptian god of the moon and vengeance. I really want them to go into the supernatural deities and stuff like that. This guy was really resurrected by this deity, and he became this deity's avatar.
Yep.
And things like that, and there's so many villains that you could use for a Moon Knight series.
I would go with Bushmaster first though.
Yeah, Bushman would be the first. That's the guy that killed him. Yeah, Bushman. That's his last name. I'm not joking about that.
Or his brother.
Yeah. Black Spectre could work. Of course, you can bring in Midnight, and I would love to see him and Frenchie. Their bantering together would be so funny.
Man, I'm not gonna lie though. Before I ask one question, Jeremy, you said he's gonna be like the '90s Green Goblin. I just want to see where he's stuck under his statue, going.
Like you could say, like the statue of Khonshu falls and like no.
But my question is this: do you think they'll go for the look that Warren Ellis gave him and he's had for like a while, or do you think they're gonna do the one he's always had, the hood and the all that?
I would stick with the hood, even though I like the whole dapper suit. I like the suit and all that, but I would go with the classic look.
I think you could play it off both ways in a sense. Maybe he's first doing like the dapper suit for a while, but then he realized like I need to get into gear. Like I need to armor up because at one point his suit looked very much like Batman.
Yep.
Begins
And
on.
he was pretty much Marvel Batman for a while. He had moonarangs. He had freaking utility belts. He was pretty much Batman.
I think Nighthawk's more Batman. I think his name's Nighthawk was more Batman
Yeah,
than Moon.
Nighthawk is definitely a more direct representation of Batman. But
in terms of direct, yeah, Nighthawk. In terms of origin wise, it's Night Thrasher.
Night Thrasher. Yep.
Dwayne Taylor has the exact origin of Bruce Wayne. I'm not even joking. It's down to the wire. Same thing. Parents were killed in front of them and everything. It's crazy. But yeah, Nighthawk is definitely more the Batman-esque in terms of. But
well, I got a big question for you about Moon Knight.
All right.
Casting.
I have I didn't think about this one.
Okay. Who's got a casting?
Crazy. I mean, it's got to be someone's crazy. I mean, I'm just God, who could they get for fucking Moon Knight?
I actually was thinking maybe this may be kind of odd, but guys, you think maybe Jake Gyllenhaal could pull off?
Jake Gyllenhaal can pull off anything.
Can pull off.
Jake Gyllenhaal can pull off anything. So
I got an idea.
Write it down.
I got an idea.
That would.
If they wanted to go a little older, what about Alan Tudyk?
Alan Tudyk could be cool.
Who's
from Firefly?
Wash, redhead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, Jake Gyllenhaal, man, that is a good choice because after seeing him in Nightcrawler, man, I just want to see where he screams in the mirror and breaks it.
Man, one that I just now thought of. I mean, he's apparently going to be in Suicide Squad, but I think he could still pull it off as Moon Knight. We talked about Clint Eastwood as Nick Fury. What about Scott Eastwood as Moon Knight?
Yes, since we don't know who he is, it's rumored that he's Nightwing, and then I'm hearing.
No.
I would prefer him as Deathstroke.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, there was this actor from he's a little small now, but he kind of had the look of Mark Spector. Just some of the looks he gave. He was from CSI Miami. God damn it, what was his name? Oh man, I can't remember his name, but yeah, who played Wolf? Yeah, he had that look like but he got fat man, so I can't.
He got fat now.
Yeah, he got fat ass out there. Last time I saw him, I was like, that's Wolf from CSI. Man, he got fat.
Man, that's about as bad as when I was like, when we were doing our panel for season 4 aired, I was like, yo, did Stephen Amell gain some weight? Because when they show him that, he looks kind of fat.
I remember that.
So it's like, I mean, dude, but
Moon Knight definitely could work. That's of course another given. That I think everybody's been saying like he needs a series. You know, I think Moon Knight perfectly works for Netflix. I can't see him working on the big screen, especially just his character alone. It just doesn't work.
And also it would just be kind of worse if you put him in the movies because you know Batman fans would call him a ripoff, because he's like, he's dark, he's kind of safe.
The Nutty Huggers, Nutty Huggers.
I didn't want to say that, but because we all know the Batman. They'd probably dislike this video. We'd all be dead within a week.
Well, what they'd probably be
despite the fact that I'm wearing a Batman shirt and my entire wall behind me is Batman related.
They don't care.
But I'm saying, like, people think he's a Batman, and they're totally different. What? What did I say? I just said Nutty Huggers.
That's why I did not want to say that, but that's all I have, guys. Jeremy took everything from me, and he took all of it. I'm coming for you, Jeremy.
I had Spider-Woman too, like.
Oh.
And we gotta talk more about that one too, now.
Oh, wait, what do I have? Let me see my list. What do I have left?
I got a few more left.
I do too.
Okay, I'm gonna read some of the comments.
All right.
J Flow. I know. Yeah, we talked about the Daughters of the Dragon. We said that, and Alana said, yeah. Chris had that. Chris said that already. Our other fellow core members, Tony says, I have the next best thing within my tome of information. I would put up a Kazar series.
Oh,
Oh, that could. I mean,
That would be
wait,
interesting.
hold on. But doesn't Fox have the rights? Because Savage Land is like
Yeah,
really
that's the thing is like I think Savillan is so connected with X-Men.
X-Men. Yeah, that I think
Like, yeah, and
Fox would have that.
because I can't just
Pterodactyl.
But yeah, didn't they mention Sauron?
yeah.
Holy crap!
Oh.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
No, they said he said Kyle Lycan. I'm like, wait, that's Sauron. So yeah, I mean, if they couldn't put Kazar in, he works better in the Savage Land because I couldn't just see. Oh, okay, we're gonna use Kazar. We're gonna drop him right into Amazon. What the hell? I was like, he'll get out of there.
yeah.
You know why?
What?
You've rocked Zero just like the best.
So it'd be cool to see Kazar and Shauna. You know, it'd be cool to see that. That'd be cool. And seeing him with Zabu, you know, his saber tooth.
Sabu.
Zabu, not Sabu.
He gonna botch.
Zabu. Yo, he gonna botch. Yeah. I just don't want him. If they do Kazar, well, I would not want to hear him talking like how he was talking in X-Men, the cartoon. Yeah, you will suffer my Kazar's blade. And
It's not in third person.
Yeah, he was talking in third person in that whole episode. Like, and then when he came in,
The only person I'm cool with talking in third person is Gambit.
yeah,
Yeah.
you just gotta do it. You gotta do it. Okay, so Kyle had his. All right, Brian, you're next.
I didn't even have one.
Before I go to my number 4, I just want to quickly mention that I would have Squirrel Girl on the Lady Liberators as kind of like the rookie of the team.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
But my final member for Lady Liberators, hate to say it, Spider.
What?
Huh? Wait. Oh, you lagged for a second.
Spider.
Spider Woman. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. I just
Stepping
go
on
with
Kyle's
her.
territory.
I know, but I staged her for 4th, so I tried to wait to give him time. But
Look, I just want her in the movies. I don't want her anywhere. You know, I mean, go ahead.
well, I just mean like her series could just be like her escaping Hydra and have Madam Hydra as the villain.
I think definitely. I mean, in terms of, since I have Spider Woman too, in a sense, in terms of I would give a movie definitely, but in terms of her story, in terms of showcasing that she was a part of Shield at one point, she was a part of Hydra. I think a series would do much better of exploring that more. Not saying it wouldn't work on the big screen, but
Yeah, because I mean, we could explore that she was one of the Shield agents that was part of the corrupt Hydra cell, and that could be really cool. That could be like an interesting angle to do it.
Tony Thunderstrike, Eric Masterson. Like I said before, if Mr. Hemsworth is not coming back as Thor, and they want to keep a hammer wielding character.
I mean, I don't want to see Natalie Portman wielding the hammer. To be honest,
Yeah,
I know a lot of people are like, they should get Lady Thor, but I'm like, Natalie Portman doesn't really have the best track record of being a good leading actress.
And besides, I don't hate Natalie Portman, and I know that she has a reputation she doesn't like. I mean, she's already made it clear she didn't really want to do the second Thor, and she's not really big for a lot of sequels or so. And I don't. Sometimes I look at her, I'm like, where does the hatred of her come from? And I think mostly, I think it resonates from just her character in Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. She got burned by one geek property. She's not doing geek-related crap anymore because.
So, but Thunderstrike was kind of cool because, once again, even though he he's wielded Mjolnir before, but he has his own hammer, kind of like Beta Ray Bill has his own hammer. It's like Thor Girl has her own hammer, and even Thunderstrike's son, he has his son. So it'd be kind of cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that. And Sony says, who?
What just happened? We were talking about Jessica Drew, and then I blagged, and we're talking about Thor. I'm like, what?
No, sorry. Because I'm reading Tony's comments.
Tony, man, we're trying to keep this Jessica Drew, and you just. But I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Tony also says, how about a Justice and Firestar?
Oh.
I would be down for that.
Yeah, but the problem is since Angelica Houston is Angelica Houston. Angelica Jones is a mutant, and so is Justice. They kind of fall into that category of mutants, unless they do something like, hey, they're actually Inhumans. So, and poor Natalie Portman, that's what Chris says. Yeah, I mean, I think that's where the hate comes from. It's like, I mean, when she was doing that last scene when she was like, Anakin, you're breaking my heart.
Oh my God, Anakin, you're breaking my heart.
I'm like, you're breaking mine by this acting. You're breaking mine.
No, and then there's the infamous Sand singing where she's talking about sand, and then I hate sand.
I'll never forget.
I liked her in what
never.
She did with Hugo Weaving. V. I thought she was good in V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
I'll never forget her. Performance and I like she just.
What the hell? You're lagging really bad, guys. we didn't hear anything you said. All we heard was like weird.
Steve off. He pulled the Tasmanian Devil.
He pulled on Steve back in 2013 when it was Steve versus Google Hangouts.
I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, that's his heart is broken. Yeah.
Oh man! Oh, I know where to go to rewatch this video now.
But okay. Back to Jessica Drew, Miss Drew. Even though, because there's always been like this saying, like, is she connected to Spider-Man? But she's not. She's not really connected to Spider-Man. I mean, they don't even have the same powers. They've met before, and she used to always do that joke back in the day, like, no, I'm not related to Spider-Man, and things like that. Okay, Malcolm. But yeah, that's my brother, guys, over here laughing at it. Okay. But no, I think Jessica, she can work both. I think she can work TV and movies, in my opinion.
God damn
it. All right, but I'll erase Spider-Woman because I'm thinking about. Because now.
What about Sleepwalker?
Who?
What about Sleepwalker?
Malcolm has a pick. Who's that?
What about Sleepwalker?
Sleepwalker, classic '90s character.
That could be really interesting. He could be an interesting member for the Midnight Suns.
You just got curled.
Yeah, a classic '90s character who's an alien from a dimension called the Dream Zone, and he inhabits this boy who he can only come out when the boy is asleep. Interesting dynamic right there, because it was like, okay, so a lot of the scenes are going to be played at night then, because this kid's sleeping.
I gotta think about it.
Yeah,
man, Sleepwalker would be a tough opponent for Freddy.
Yeah, Freddy versus Sleep. Oh yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Hey,
somebody needs to make that into a fan film.
Sleep. Okay. So okay. Who's next? Yeah, since we talked about Spider, I gotta find another number 4 now, but I'll figure it out later.
Gotta move on number 5.
No, I gotta do number 4 because Brian didn't do his number 4, did he?
No, I think Spider-Woman was his number 4.
Okay, now let me do my number 4 because.
Yeah, my number 4 was.
Okay, here's my number 4. Well, it was actually number 2, but I'm skipping around. All right, And I'm actually going out into space with this one, guys. Um,
And it's not space.
and it's not, yeah, and it's not Space Ghost.
Coast to coast.
Okay. And his name is my name. His name is Chris, and it ends with a P. Powell. We're talking 90s cult favorite character, Dark.
Nighthawk. Why did I say Nighthawk? Yeah. We were talking about Nighthawk earlier.
I think Darkhawk could work a series by himself. To me, Darkhawk is basically the Marvel equivalent of one of my favorite Japanese characters, the Guyver. Right
Kind of
down.
like Max Steel.
Look, yeah, in a sense, a little bit of Max Steel too, but I think Chris Powell would work in terms of you can focus on more. You have a little bit of on Earth, but then he goes out into space more. You focus on the fraternity of the Raptors, where the armor and things come from, and he finds out that hey, they're not as good as people. He thinks they're good. He thinks they're good, and he finds out they're actually intergalactic assassins.
He thinks that they're good people.
Yeah, and in terms of the specs, yeah, okay, you're gonna have to push it but like I said, once again,
I saw that.
but when you look at what Legends of Tomorrow does, it's like
Oh.
hey, okay, Kyle, I know you don't like that show, but
What?
but look at how they make Hawkman and Hawkgirl when they're flying, even though.
Even Hawkman's not dull.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That actor who plays Hawkman is dull as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, but my God, I'm like, oh my God. But other than that, Darkhawk, he doesn't flap his wings. It's more like a gliding motion. And I still think Darkhawk could work. If they could pull off the Guyver the way they did, and I still like that first movie, and the second one was better. They could pull off a Darkhawk series that would probably work, and you could introduce other intergalactic characters like.
With the successes of J.J. Abrams' Star Trek and Guardians of the Galaxy, I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing more intergalactic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Adventures.
That's what I'm saying is like when you look at Marvel now, it's like they really should start doing more variety. Like we're not too much focus on Earth all the time. Let's go out to what's going on in space. That's always been the last frontier, and that's just the way I look at it. It's like okay, but yeah, Darkhawk is another one. So Jay, what's your number 5?
All right, so my number 5 is actually we talked about White Tiger. I was thinking maybe what about Tigra? I think she could be really cool.
Ooh, Greer Nielsen, and it's kind of funny because Tony just mentioned that. He says I got a perfect one. Greer Nielsen,
I came up with I just kind of made up an origin off the top of my head how I think she could work in the cinematic universe. Maybe we could have her as an Inhuman, and I think it would be cool if she's like a kind of an underground fighter type of character. Like she does underground cage fighting type of thing. So she's already a brawler, and she kind of does this kind of street justice type of thing. Sort of in the vein of Daredevil, but not as intense.
Mm-hmm. So you change her origin a little bit to where she got her fighting craft from, being she's more legal. If they keep her in New York, then she would have to do a legal.
Because we said before, we could have different heroes represent the different boroughs. We could even have you have Angelina in the Bronx. You could have her in I don't know. Wait, hold up. We got Hell's Kitchen already. Someone in Brooklyn. I mean, we got Spidey in Queens. I mean, Cap technically lives in Brooklyn, but have her in Brooklyn or something. I think it could be cool. And plus, I think that the cat effects wouldn't be too much to deal with for Netflix either. It'd be interesting to see how they pull it off. Furries would have a field day though.
Yeah. I think Greer would work. I like that. I mean, I would like to see her as an Avenger too, but yeah, that could work. I could see that. Tiger could work, and maybe would you even think about maybe having her as a cop too? Because she was a cop in like a miniseries. Like she would use like her. That'd be cool. I could take that. Okay. Since we skipped Kyle because he don't have no more.
I got one.
Okay. All right, you got one. Go ahead.
Yeah. Chris, you might be proud of me for this one, but I just thought of it off the cuff. I don't think it'd be too difficult to do in Netflix. And I don't know if you've mentioned it already, maybe his first name, but why not Red Wolf?
Kyle, I love you.
I thought I lagged out. I was about to say it was nuts silence, and I was like,
I love you. You know how I am with Native American characters. Kyle, I love you. I love you.
Yeah. Can you edit out the part where I went, you know?
Chris says, I live in Brooklyn. Do a Marvel movie about that.
Boy, I didn't even.
He says, I live in Brooklyn. I'll do a Marvel movie. Yeah. But Red Wolf, you know how I support that stuff. You know, and a Red Wolf, yeah. Would you do it modern or period piece?
Probably you could do either. I maybe period. I guess period piece just to make it a little bit more unique, you know. And you could do either one, but I mean, I guess period piece wherever he fits best. I'd say because.
I thought you were gonna say American Eagle because I would have even said I love you too. But yeah, Red Wolf would. Yeah. I mean, I've enjoyed so far. What Edmondson is doing with Red Wolf now, I actually like. I mean, that story's been told before. Like you're taking a guy from his time and bringing him into the modern world. It's been done before, but it's how you executing it. And right now, you know, he's just really confused. He don't know like what's going on. He's seeing guys on bikes and he's like, what are those things you're on? And
I love his reaction to a plane. He's like,
yeah, he's on a plane and he's like, what the hell? I thought that was funny. So yeah, you know, Red Wolf would be cool. You know, I wouldn't mind that.
And remember, these Netflix things, these are gritty.
Yeah.
You know, they're not for kids. I mean, some of the things we've mentioned, some of these things I could see more on ABC, like, you know, but some of the ones others we've mentioned that are really dark and gritty. That's why we have these Netflix things for the dark, gritty stuff that you can't do in a PG-13 movie. You know, I mean.
So far the most grittiest thing we've seen in the series-wise would probably be Winter Soldier, maybe Avengers as well. Because when
Avengers isn't as gritty. I mean, you got Claw losing his entire arm. That was pretty bad.
And when Pietro got shot up, that was like, you could see the bullet holes in him. Like,
yeah, oh. You didn't see that coming.
Yeah, you didn't. But
yeah. Oh my God! Now Jeremy's got to fall to the floor, and then we got to have a shot on him with his white hair. Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at some of the comments. Okay.
I'll pick you up, Jeremy. We'll just there.
Okay. We got a lot of people laughing at Chris's his comment, and Tony says, "I was thinking of Red Wolf," and then he says, "You clever Kyle." That's he called Kyle. And Chris says, "Awesome." And Alana says, "How about U.S. Agent?" So we're going Mr. Walker.
Ooh. I was hoping that he'd actually make like a cameo in the Cap movie at some point.
Let's talk about Mr. Walker. U.S. Agent,
Johnny Walker.
Yeah, John Walker is not like, I've always wished that Marvel had did the storyline back in the 90s, which is a very underrated storyline for Captain America called Captain America No More, where the government decided to take the Captain America, the uniform, the shield, away from Steve because they felt like, hey, that's our property. That's really that's our property. And because Steve didn't want to follow, a lot of the stuff that they would tell him, like, you're only supposed to help us and not foreign people and stuff like that. But that's not Steve. And you know, they gave it to John Walker, and he became the captain with that ugly black
costume.
Plus,
with
he was a dick.
the yellow cape, and I'm like, you know, but
I remember when Dan Slott put him on Mighty Avengers after Bendis was done with Secret Invasion.
I remember that because only the one line that makes me stand out about him is where he tried to arrest Hulk and Hercules. Hulk, Hercules, you're under arrest. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it was so stupid, but I was laughing my head off about that one.
John Walker was a dick also. Like, he is
a dick.
John Walker. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Chris.
Yeah, he is a dick. He's a dick. I'm not even gonna lie. He could be because even when he became like the warden of the raft, he was a dick in there. I'm like, Jesus.
He was bad at his job.
I love when Osborn broke out and he's just there, you know who I am? No one gives a shit, you little fucker. Like, it's like you suck. But him and Hank Pym just need to go, like, just go, boy.
Who's the other guy? The guy that was on Secret Avengers that's, like, older than Cap? He's, like, the original
Oh, you're talking about, I know you're talking about, the original, who got he's supposed to be from, like, the Civil War? Yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Oh, God.
I thought you were talking about the Captain America from the 50s, Gillian Mace, who was Cap during that time.
I'm really trying to figure out who this guy is. I can't remember the name.
We're all having a brain fart right now. It's like, I don't even, we'll just say...
It's been so long since I've read that run.
Yeah, that run, I know.
We'll just say that, Cap. We'll just say that one for now.
Yeah, Civil War, Revolutionary War, Cap. Let's just go with that. Captain Proto-America.
But getting already. Get out of here. I think, let's see, I'm trying to think of...
This is a really...
I saw Tony have one. He said, what about... He said... Okay, we got a couple of comments. Tony says, what about Jocasta?
Tony, you're over here saying you didn't have a list, and you're, like, giving us so many different characters. Like, you should have came on...
You camera shy? I mean, what do you don't want to be with us? You're too good for us, man? I mean, what is this now? I mean, you don't want to have a drink with us? I mean, I'm drinking some Cherry Coke.
Okay, here, okay. John Steele. There we go. John Steele. That's his name.
That's what his name was.
Steele, the original Captain America. Well, not Captain America. He's supposed to be the original Super Soldier. John Steele. Yeah, John Steele.
That was gonna bug me.
And then Chris says, which actually is cool. I would love to see it. Is Miguel O'Hare? My God.
There he is.
Oh, here we go.
Calling me out already?
Yeah,
I mean, Tony, you're the one who said you didn't have a list, and you're like telling us all these
excuse me for working graveyard and being tired all damn day.
Yeah.
Wait, what is that? His plunger?
No, it's sword. You got a katana blade.
Oh, you want to do battle? All right, hold up.
All
right. Well, you see this, Tony? You see this? I came prepared. Come on, let's go.
Oh, but I can one up.
I'm just gonna beat people senseless. Just here we go.
Oh God!
Got a lightsaber. Oh, he's got a lightsaber. Oh no. I'm not dealing with all that. No.
I'm not dealing with that.
I'm not dealing with that shit. But I just gotta say, Chris, the guy that mentioned Spider-Man 2099, I don't know you, but I love you already. Just by that mention, that'd be amazing.
You know him. You watch Comic Frontline and all that, right?
No.
Okay. No.
If you want to know where I got all my information from, see the here.
Did you just call me a fucker?
Yeah.
Call you, Kyle.
I took a couple seconds for Kyle to register. He's like, Chris, did you just call me the fucker?
We're going dirty. Are you? All right, I got you, Chris. I got you. I'll come back.
But no, it would be cool to see the future of Marvel, like 2099 or something like that. Because I don't see why they can't do it. I know they want to keep just Peter Parker, but I would love to see Miguel. Like, because
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome to see him in a Netflix series. I mean, and get Peter David as like a consult for that,
Yeah,
and it would be
Peter
great.
David. Yeah, that's perfect, right there, Peter David.
Tell me what is wrong with you, man.
No, I'm laughing at something else. Malcolm showed me something. Okay, I got one. What was it? Okay, my number 5 is actually. Did anybody mention the T-Bolts?
No.
Hey, what about me?
Oh,
Oh shit, Brian. Man, Tony, you interrupted our flow, man. You popped up and you messed up the line.
all right, go ahead, Brian. What was your number 5?
Hell no.
Well, my number 5 was originally the Lady Liberators,
Right, Lady Liberator.
but since I've already mentioned them several times already, I'll just throw out this replacement. I know it's kind of obscure, but what about the Pact?
Oh, Silver Sable in the Pack. Ooh, I'd take that.
Yeah.
Dude, I've wanted Silver Sable for a while to show up in the Spider-Man movie, and like people like I'm like one of the few people that was like really devastated when Silver Sable got killed off.
Well, we don't know if she's actually dead now, because if Rhino survived, it's like, hey, where's
That's true.
where's she at? No, so yes, I Silver Sable would be cool. I'd take that.
Yeah, and just FYI before we move on, I do have one more. I do have a 6th that we still haven't mentioned.
Yeah, I haven't even. Yeah, okay. My number 5 would be, like I said, the Thunderbolts. I think.
Really quick. You're talking about the Thunderbolts. Which version?
I'm talking about the ones that were villains that actually wanted to change. Like they wanted redemption, not Norman Osborn's version or anything like that. I'm talking about they actually want to be heroes. So it'd be a little different than the Suicide Squad. Here, the Thunderbolts were villains that wanted to change. The Suicide Squad, they're villains that got many bombs in their heads that they don't do what they're told, they're gonna get their head blown off. So with the T-Bolts, it's more like I would have Beetle, aka Abe Jenkins, become Mach 5. I would want Atlas, because I want to see somebody get big. I want to see that so badly.
Yeah, I mean, you might see that in Civil War, apparently, because they're releasing Giant Man merchandise for Scott.
Okay, I want to see. Let's see who else. Of course, Songbird. God dang, I want to see Songbird. And
she was on my list, actually.
Songbird, I wouldn't even mind if they did basically Luke took over and was like, yo, y'all want to change? Okay, I can help you with that. Like, and he helps them change. That'd be kind of cool. Instead of going, Citizen B was actually Baron Zemo in disguise, because, well, Baron Zemo dead now, and he was a chicken shit character in the cinematic universe anyway. Yeah, we're good. We're no surrender. Yeah,
you mean Von Strucker?
That was Von Strucker.
Yeah, Baron Von Strucker. Yeah, there we go. Because Baron Zemo
Zemo's showing up in Civil War.
Yeah, and we don't know how, but I mean, we don't know how old he's gonna be, because he has kids. No, not Barry. Damn it, Strucker has kids. Sorry. And so yeah, it'd be cool. I'm just saying, like, the Thunderbolts would be cool. I mean, once again, good competition. We're like, okay, Marvel, you did this, so let's bring that. I'm just saying, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Red Hulk, Chris Red Hulk. I wouldn't want to see Thunderbolt become that somewhere down the line. You know,
Well,
Disappearing
Rumor is-
mustache.
rumor is
Not-
that he'll be in Civil War.
well, we see him in Civil War. Wait.
Oh,
As him as Rolk or him as just Ross? Because Ross we've seen.
I've heard of
The rumor. There's a lot of rumors about him being Rolk.
yeah.
It's just he's there, and Mark Ruffalo's not in the film, so people are making rumors he's gonna be all it is. I mean, it could be true, but he's not really anything. He's just General Ross right now. So, but is he asking like Red Hulk for a Netflix thing, or is
That's
or
what
what?
he said, Red Hulk.
So so you're saying you want the Bill Bixby, series basically on Netflix with this Red Hulk this time?
I mean, no, you can have military asshole Red Hulk.
Oh, okay. Chris is saying he was joking with that one.
Okay,
Honestly, I can speak here because this is one of the few times where I have a bit of comic knowledge. One of the few series that I used to pick up issue by issue was Hawk's run on Hulk, where it was starring Rolk. I think that could be adapted where he's like wandering around.
Oh, okay.
That could be really interesting. I mean, that's like if you gave General Lane superpowers and put him into a series.
You know who I still want to see, and I really wish they'd do him. I want to see Doc Samson. I want to see Doc Samson so bad.
I was gonna mention
That'd be cool.
I would like to see an actual fucking version of the leader.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I want to see. The leader.
Rumble.
I know they.
Series, major victory.
It just hit me, but how would you feel if they ever did a Agents of Smash live action?
Oh, sweet Jesus, no.
As long as it's not anything like that goddamn cartoon, I'm okay.
Ooh.
Okay, we're on our number 6 now.
We've had 20 of them. Technically, we've had 20 of them.
I got one.
Okay, so Jay, Kyle, you got another one?
Oh, I got one.
Wait. Did you said Kyle? Not right. You said
Yeah, Kyle. Kyle, you
Open
go,
your
and then
mouth.
I'll go, and then Tony can go. All right, so
Well,
that's how
what about
we'll
me?
do it. No, I'm saying that's how we're gonna do it, and then Brian, you yours. Like, Tony, you're throwing off my line.
Yeah.
I can't. Jesus.
Oh, when you call me out, I should be summoned, you know.
Well, I mean, we didn't say your name 3 times. It's just, that's not how it works.
My summoning takes special conditions. Saying my name 3 times doesn't mean I get to be summoned. I'm a crazy lazy spirit when it comes to that.
Saying your name twice and then saying Gary Oldman doesn't count. Okay, Tony, just saying.
All right, well, go ahead, Kyle. You got any last one?
Oh yeah, thank God you guys were talking because I was lagging now. But yeah, I do. I hate to have just a whole bunch of Spider characters, but Jeremy took all of my characters, and he's like, I want to mess with Kyle there. So it would have to be films down the line, and I know no one would like it, but do Bendis's Clone Saga. Spin that out because Bendis is
you said Bendis
was good.
Okay.
And then what I'm saying is, do Kane, Scarlet Spider, as a Netflix series, and there you go. You have like a. I don't know if you would want to do
like him in Houston. Oh, that's
yeah,
a really
exactly. I don't know.
concept.
Yeah, I don't know if we could get Tom Holland, but to be like a darker version of Peter Parker. But you could always say something. Oh, it's why some chromosome made it look like a different face, or they want that like someone like change
Yeah,
the face, you know, and you could have a different.
maybe he just got surgery so that he wouldn't have to be like, I'm Peter Parker's clone. He wanted to look like a different person or something, like get his own identity. So
I hate
Yeah.
that I have to use spider characters, but those are kind of like Flash and Agent Venom and Scarlet Spider are the darker versions, for the Spider-Man universe, and Spider-Woman is as well, but she, but yeah,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Hey, I almost had Spider-Woman and Spider-Girl on my list.
Okay.
I just couldn't think of any good ones at the time.
Huh.
Until I came across my Tome of Epicness.
It's cool.
Kyle, well, Chris, thank you very much. I'm surprised. Yeah, I thought you told Chris about our pack, Jay. I thought you told us about the core.
No, I've mentioned it before. I know I mentioned it to Kat.
Yeah, Kat knows about it, but he's kind of mad at you about it. He's laughing, joking about it, though.
Oh man.
Let's see. Okay. Okay. You said Kane. I could take Kane. We're talking about when he's Scarlet Spider, Kane.
Yeah, I don't want the one where he's got like weird long ass hair and he's like,
and it's like a weird, deformed, like fucked up Kane.
We're not talking about original '90s Kane. We're talking about later Kane. Okay.
Houston Kane.
Okay. Who's next?
Jay, do you have one?
Jay's next.
Okay, my one is technically a team, and Tony already mentioned it, but I didn't want to talk about it until my very last one, because this is one that I always push, and that is the Young Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay. You brought something that I love the most, but I'm not going to mention it here, because my last one is something different.
My last one is something different, too.
I too would love to see a Young Avengers, and I think they could do it, even if what if they are? What if? Well, we see that Cassie is universe, though she's still a little girl.
Yeah, like what Kyle was saying, this would be movies down the line, and it would be with them a little older. Because, like we were saying before with some of the other characters, they have too much story to just condense into one movie. I feel like Young Avengers, especially how character-driven those stories are, they need something that would focus just on character. So that's why Netflix would work.
And we're talking about the original cast, right?
Yep.
My question.
None of that gilling crap.
Okay.
Because you're dealing with Iron Lad, and Iron Lad is.
Oh fuck! You're right. He's Kang. Shit. That's. Yeah.
And then you have.
I think Kyle had something you wanted to say too, but.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are the Young Avengers considered? And this is a good idea, Jay. I don't mean to stomp on it, but are the Young Avengers considered, within the Netflix terms of gritty? I'm just curious. I've never read a Young Avengers book.
It's not necessarily gritty, but the issues they deal with are pretty dark. Because Kate Bishop was raped, and that's the whole reason she became a hero in the first place, so she wouldn't feel that helpless ever again. You've got the whole identity issues for Wiccan and Hulkling, with them coming to terms with who they are as people, and
then the whole mutant growth hormone thing for Eli.
Yep. And they could use the IGH for that too. He could be they could even have Isaiah participate in that program instead of the Super Soldier program, and that could be something.
Okay, so you're gonna not only that, you're modernizing his grandfather. You're making him not as older as he.
He could be instead of being a precursor, even instead of being with Cap, he could be during Nam or something that they're trying to make another Captain Hunter.
That's actually a good idea. Instead of making Isaiah during the Tuskegee, because that's pretty much what the truth is the Tuskegee project. You can instead of during
being with that though, that's a central part in Eli's character though. It's
I think that's true.
Flaws in American society.
But
Yeah, but also during this time was during the Nam time. That's the early '60s, so that's also during the the height of the civil rights movement. So you could still deal with that kind of thing in
True.
there.
I can see
And
your
my
point
replacement for Iron Lad would actually be, instead of using Kang the Conqueror, we could have Amadeus Cho, the world's smartest teenager,
I could
reverse engineering some Iron Man tech.
I could dig.
see that.
That sounds
makes a
good.
lot of sense to me.
I could dig that. So how and the only problem is we can't. We could probably easily fix Hulkling. You're like let's. You could
Call him an Inhuman. Call him an Inhuman shapeshifter. Just
you can
Inhuman Kree.
still have him be
Inhuman Kree.
You can still have him be Kree, but you could just change maybe his other race. Maybe he's half Chitauri or something like that. Or something like that. That could work.
I mean, and you could even have him be the royalty of whatever other race he is, so he could still be technical royalty on both sides.
Chris, you say Miles? Yeah, I think everybody's been saying that. Yeah, we want to see Miles down the line somewhere as Spider-Man. I like Miles as Spidey. Don't get me wrong, I like him as Spidey too. But just right now, Marvel is so conscious of making sure it's Peter Parker and.
Because you need to do Peter right before you can even think about it.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
And also, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Kyle. Go ahead.
Miles is the legacy character for Spider-Man, and he's not a say, or Kane. Miles is a kid. When he became Spider-Man, he was 14. And he's the legacy. What?
He was 13.
Oh, he's 13. Thank you. And he's not a dark. His history so far is not dark or gritty. So I'd have him be safe for the movies. So say 10 movies down the line, Tom Holland's like, look, I love playing the role. It's time to go. Either we kind of let Peter Parker go into the sunset, with Mary Jane, maybe a kid, or we do the death of Spider-Man, and then we do Miles Morales. That's the legacy character, and I don't really want to see him in the dark, edgy side of the Marvel Universe.
And I'm saying this right now, keep Jaden Smith as far away from this shit as possible.
Oh, hell yeah.
I will choke any Marvel executive that even mentions that.
Choke him up. Jay's gonna take his crutch and stomp on his face like, God, I tell you don't.
Keep him away from that. God damn it! Oh no, that crutch is going somewhere where the sun don't shine, and it's going right up there and through your fucking mouth. Do not fuck up Miles.
He's gonna pull black sail with his crutch like, cha! Remember the guy stepped on with his peg leg?
You do not.
Chasing after small children with a croquet mallet.
Look, I'm not gonna lie.
You do not touch my favorite. You do not touch one of my most.
I'm not gonna lie either. Like, look, I don't want Jaden Smith as Miles. It's bad enough he's gonna play Static. It's like it's bad enough he's gonna play Static in a web series, and I'm like, damn it. But yeah, keep him away. Huh? Yes, live action.
The rumor is that
where's
the whole entire reason why Will signed up for Suicide Squad was so
that he could just ride on Daddy's coattails once again.
But yeah,
fucking shit.
Yeah, but sorry, I'm just a little eager to say my last one.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I'm surprised this was not mentioned yet. This is a team, but it's a team that you could start off as a team, and it would fit in with the Guardians, but also with Suicide Squad and maybe even Deadpool a little. And I'm surprised nobody's mentioned this before now. Next Wave.
Oh, Next Wave. Okay.
That's a nice pull.
That's a nice one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
And I know. Thank you. And I know Boom Boom is on the team, and she's a mutant. And if they didn't want to retcon her and say that she's inhuman, I did come up with a replacement for her. That would be Miss Dakota North.
Dakota North, yeah, I could see that.
And so that's why I said, when you mentioned Monica before, I said she was coming later. Because, yeah, I'd have Monica, Machine Man, Elsa Bloodgood, all of them.
Oh, Elsa Bloodstone. Nice.
I go? I think I'm going to do my last one, too. Here's my last pick, guys. And it is none other than Mr. Jacob Russoff, a.k.a. Werewolf by Night.
Fuck yes.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see him. You talk about a character that's got a legacy. He carries the legacy of the werewolf, like lycanthropy.
Mm-hmm.
By that extension, you should probably do other Marvel supernatural characters like Son of Frankenstein and
the Living Mummy. All that, yeah.
Oh, Living Mummy
what would be really cool is that you can do Marvel's version of Dracula.
I swear, you know what? I've always.
I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about maybe having him as the villain for the Blade series that I was pitching, but I was like, no, it's too stereotypical.
But the thing about it was, if you think about it, remember that last Dracula movie that came out?
The Dracula Untold?
Yeah. I swear I thought that was a secret Marvel movie, and they were doing.
It did look like Marvel's Dracula.
I was like,
Yeah,
oh, is this Dracula? I was like, oh, if his hair was white, and I was like,
because he did the whole bat shape shifting thing where he turns into the cloud of bats, and it was like, whoa.
And my favorite part of that trailer is, man, don't fear shorts.
Oh man.
Well, yeah, Jacob Russoff, a.k.a. Werewolf by Night, would be great. I mean, you could even introduce him in the Moon Knight series, or Moon Knight could be introduced in his series, because that's where Moon Knight first appeared.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So it'd be like, okay, bring him, put him, and I'm a big werewolf mark. I love werewolves more than I like vampires, so, it's like.
That's same with me. I had one more pick for Midnight Suns, actually, and this would be like the female member of the team, and that would be Jennifer Kale. I would put Jennifer Kale on the Midnight Suns, even though she's, it's technically called the Midnight Suns. She would fit so well on there.
Yeah. Jennifer Kale? Oh, Danny, Johnny and Danny's cousin.
Yep. Because I mentioned Ghost Rider before. I was like, yeah, I definitely think Jennifer Kale could fit on this team. I think it would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I know we didn't. I know we weren't supposed to, but I kind of do have an honorable mention.
Honorable mention. Go ahead. Hit us with the honorable mention. And probably like the 40th one we've done.
This is another legacy character, but it could be exploring a part of the Marvel Universe we have yet to see.
A legacy character, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Union Jack.
Ooh.
Visiting across the pond. That's a good idea.
I think that's something that Marvel needs to do too, is start introducing some of their British characters.
Oh yeah, like would Captain Britain and his sister Lionheart
they fall under X-Men, especially since Betsy is already in a movie.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. But with Brian. Well, no, not Brian. Yeah, Brian. Brian, not a mutant. His powers are more magical, and even their older brother is. But see, that's the hard thing. Is like, I think you could still maybe get away with it in a sense, like kind of how they did with Wanda and Pietro. Like, he has a sister, but you just don't mention her, and you can see him team up with MI6 and stuff, and they do.
I can see that, and they have people like Deathhead and
Yeah, and then what's her name? Famako, who has the sword Excalibur and stuff. Really cool.
And Lionheart.
Lionheart and all those. Yeah, Union Jack is a good one. And Spitfire. Oh my God, the speedster Spitfire. I'd love to see her.
Ooh, and I have a character that's on the magical side.
Okay.
Dr. Druid.
Another, yeah, that's another good one too.
I told multiple people, but I have been championing for well, not championing, but I've just been rooting for through my friends here that his son be in the Agents of Shield Secret Warriors.
Oh, okay, yeah, his son, yeah, I know who you're talking about, yeah.
I could see that.
Kyle, you got any honorable mentions?
I mean, we've gone through so many. I'm pretty sure we've gone through.
I know you got one.
We've gone through the entire Marvel alphabet from A to Z.
Fudge. No, I don't. We felt that we've had this video should be called 6 Marvel characters we'd love to see in a Netflix series, plus 41 honorable mention. Because I swear we went through so many honorable mentions.
My honorable mention right here, this last one, I kid you not, would be Deathlock. There we go.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Especially if they base it off the current series that
I would want the new Deathlock. I would want Hayes. That one where he doesn't even know he's Deathlock.
Yeah, where it's like a Jason Bourne type of thing.
Yeah, Jason Bourne one. Yeah, I was loving that series.
That
was so good.
This makes me think though. I know they don't want to cross them over, but are there any characters from the movies that you'd want to see get a Netflix show?
Yes.
Yeah.
We already talked about it. I think Hawkeye could do one where we get to see his brother. Yes. I think about Barney in that one. Widow would be good because then you can focus more.
I would like a Widow series very much.
Focus on her and maybe the way I would do a Widow and Chris, I see your honorable mention, Ms. Marvel, Kamala. But and laughing about it too. But
the rumor is that she actually is. But anyway.
Yeah, Kamala might be getting a show. Yeah, it's a rumor. Like the guy they keep giving the show to that they wanted to do Cloak and Dagger. He's like, no, I'm more interested in Miss Marvel. Let me do Miss Marvel.
It's the dude who does that show American Crime. He's working on a secret project for Marvel, and he has been open about his love for Kamala.
Okay, well. Like I was saying about, you said Widow. The way I would do a Widow series is the fact that, remember how she said in the end of Winter Soldier, like all these things have been opened up about her now, like the KGB and everybody couldn't touch her because of S.H.I.E.L.D. That now comes back to haunt her now in terms of, and we get to see the second Black Widow. Yolanda.
Oh yeah, Yolanda.
You can do Red Guardian and all those.
I want to see Red Widow. I mean, I know she's a newer character, but I think Red Widow would be really cool.
No, it'd be cool to see that. But those are the only movie characters.
I can tell you one that I would like to see.
What was that?
Movie character. I'd like to see just like, even if it's just one season, I'd kind of like to see them give Falcon his own show.
I want a Mockingbird show, just because Mockingbird is like the best character on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I would watch an entire show just about her.
I would love to see a Mockingbird show, and she gets mortally wounded, and they inject a super soldier and the Infinity Formula in there.
Well, she is kind of getting her own show.
I mean, she's getting the most wanted, but I don't give a shit about Hunter. I just want her.
When I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's mainly about her, of course.
And
Coulson,
Coulson
still, and of course, since I'm a big Ming-Na fan, so I'm like, yeah, I just want to see what she's up to. But I don't care too much for what the hell her name is?
Grant.
Fit, and what's his name? I was glad he got killed off, and then they brought him back. I'm like, okay.
Well, he's not really him. He's just some. I like the actor. I quit the show, but I mean, and I wish the show never had happened because it ruins what I would want for Steve Rogers at the end of Infinity War, along with Tony Stark to do something. But we'll talk about that after the show. That's the movies, but yeah. Wow. Awkward silence.
Oh, jeez.
Hold on. We got one more comment.
Oh, we do?
And it's from Lana, Gemini girl. She says, "Hey guys, one more. Sword.
Who?
Huh?
Sword.
Oh, sword. I
Yeah,
thought you said.
sword.
I thought you said Thord. I heard Thord for a
Yeah,
second. Like, what?
I was like, what the hell's a Thord? Like,
Yeah, I kept hearing Thor too.
Yeah, sorry, sword. Sword.
Yes.
only if Jessica Drew was in it, so that'd be great. I didn't get to
Abigail
talk about the
Brand.
character.
It'd be cool to see Abigail Brand. I still think Alana, that sword is going to be built after Infinity War.
Abigail Brand is gonna be a stone cold bitch. She better be a stone cold bitch, because
I think that's definitely going to be done that way. But yeah, once again, guys, this was fun as always for another topic. Didn't get to
we went from 6 to 50.
yeah.
Like,
Real quick.
Yeah, 50 Marvel characters. This was
We only did
Yes, in true YouTuber sport fashion, we crank everything to about an 11 and a half.
Yeah, because I mean, let's face it, we did 50, and Marvel has like what 5,000 characters.
yep.
Yeah,
It's like the Spider-Man video all over again. We were just supposed to talk about one piece of news for the movies, and then all of a sudden we got into like a 4-hour discussion about every possible aspect.
And hence that's why it's like we kind of always joke is like, are we going to stick to the topic or are we going to?
Yeah, remember we're all a bunch of comic book geeks. We love we love our universes, and Marvel's an expand. The MCU is a universe, and we want to see the gritty side with these interesting characters and these teams and these organizations. So it's kind of hard to just stick to a topic and go, oh, this, and this. We're big fans of this stuff, so it's like, oh, wouldn't this be so cool? And that's what it is, And
Well, also, we didn't mention all the Marvel characters. They have like thousands of characters.
Oh yeah, we skipped over a lot that we would have liked to see. I mean, we could do like a whole other video of just.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. And this is also not so necessarily making gritty adaptations to these characters' stories, but actually seeing a lot of these characters that we love and appreciate actually get recognition in an adaptation rather than the more popular characters.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like,
that's
the thing. Like that's the thing, and I think that's what Kyle was going to say. Is like with these series, it gives people who've never heard of these characters a little intro. Okay, hey, that character is kind of interesting. I want to know more about that character now. Because if you look at it from a point of, I mean, to say what you want about the Ghost Rider movies, but the first movie, his sales at that time rose because people got interested in that character. Like, hey, what was that? Okay, that Flamehead dude was kind of cool. Like, okay, I want to know more about that.
I mean, look at the Guardians. Like me and Chris read the Guardians have been reading Guardians for a while, but like until when the movie came out, that series blew up.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. I mean, let's face it. Marvel says that they, in the comic wise, that the movies will never. But I mean, let's face it. Steve's coming back as Cap, and it's like you cannot tell me that this is not because of the movie. I mean, even though they're Captain Americas now, which I'm glad. Because I'm glad that it's going to be.
His new shield looks pretty badass, also.
His costume looks very much like his movie version. But the thing is, I've always said about that is just Marvel. And who's writing it? Nick Spencer. I mean, he's writing both. I'm like, if Spencer, you got to explain to me how Steve got young again and all that other stuff. Like, don't half-ass that story. Like.
Yeah,
if you pull time travel,
just like how Remender failed to explain how he got the serum taken away from him in the first place.
Yeah. See,
so don't do no fucking stupid wolf shit with fucking Steve, because I couldn't stand it.
Yeah,
oh my god!
Don't remind me about the weird.
I fucking hate.
Right now, they're still doing that.
So much.
The last issue that I read, and are we still on? Okay, we're about to crack this off, but. The last issue I read was where they introduced the new Falcon, which I like. I like this kid named Joaquin Torres. I'm like, okay, I can understand why he's got. I mean, he's got pretty much this mad scientist named Carl Magnus took parts of Red Wing and gene spliced him with this kid. So now this kid is kind of like he's got like big falcon eyes. Like his eyes are like really big.
I'm gonna wait to ask this question until after we cut off. But I got a question about that actually, because there's something that bothers me about Red Wing. But we'll talk about that after we cut off.
I want to ask the audience a question before we go, because this is a video we've been saying we want to do, but we've been waiting for Tony, but Tony's busy. And we talked about it when we did our when we were doing like the season premieres of comic book shows, and we just talked about the MCU. Would you guys like to see us do a retrospective on the first two phases of the MCU? That's Iron Man 1 to Ant-Man.
Yeah,
we go full.
Planning that for a while. We've been really planning like we want to do like talk about each Marvel cinematic movie that's come out up until now, and we've been talking about doing that for a while. That was besides the stuff that besides the roundtables of the various movies. And we apologize for not doing the Star Wars thing, because we were supposed to do a Star Wars roundtable. And
it's just a bit too late.
I apologize for that. But we're definitely gonna do a Deadpool, so don't worry about that. We're gonna do Deadpool, and we're gonna do the movies, the superhero movies.
Yeah.
And
the buttload of them that are coming out this year.
Yeah, and and Jay and I, we do the the iZombie stuff on here.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do iZombie, and like once Chris catches up on Shadowhunters, Brian and I can definitely start talking about that, because I'm waiting.
Talk about that, and there are other things that we do on here. I mean, my brother and Kyle here are thinking about moving their show that they were supposed to have with a former member of Kayla.
Oh yeah.
And they're thinking about moving it to this channel, so they have a thing to do here.
And I have an idea for a video, but I'll share it after.
Yeah,
and also, we know we're doing a lot of Marvel, but there's just not a lot of DC to talk about. So anybody that's like, oh, why are you guys just talking about Marvel? We're having a hard time.
The thing is like, Kyle, exactly, because
once we have more DC to build on, we'll have.
Don't worry, guys. We're definitely gonna do a roundtable for Batman and Superman. I promise you that one we'll definitely do.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. You bet your ass I'm talking about Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but unfortunately for me, as big a fan as I am of them, I will not be seeing Turtles. So don't ask me to do that. Don't ask me on my main channel. Don't ask me on this channel. I'm not doing that. Jay could do that himself. I'm not doing that.
Oh, come on, man. Bebop and Rocksteady. Come on.
Man, I saw him do that first one. I am not going. It's like Will Smith and Bad Boys 2. I'm not going back. I am not going back.
I will mainly watch that. I won't review it or anything, and I won't pay for it, but I'll watch it. But that's
fine. You guys just leaving me hanging.
I'm sorry, Jay. You're right on that one, dude. I'm not going to see that.
But I'm saying
how much homage they trying to pay to the '80s cartoon. I'm not going to see.
I'm saying that there's only one reason why I'm watching it, though, is because my semi-crush on Stephen Amell.
Hey man, no judgment here.
Wait, Tony, you got a male crush on Amell?
What the fuck?
That was Brian. That was Brian.
Brian, you got a male crush? Oh, cool.
Kinda, a little bit, because I follow him on Facebook.
Haven't I told you guys I got male crushes? So yeah.
Maybe we should go.
Yeah, let's cut this before it goes into random time.
Other than that, guys,
the past few days, it's creeping me out.
Other than that, guys, we want to thank everybody who watched, everybody who submitted their vids. Want to thank Chris from Comic Frontline for coming through. Thank you very much.
And I'm sorry for accidentally popping on the Comic Frontline account. I don't know why. I'm logged into my channel. I don't know why Google Plus hadn't popped in as Frontline.
But thanks.
Yes, I noticed that,
We
Jay. Welcome
appreciate
on
that.
back.
Much love to the Frontline family, as always. And Chris, tell Mike I said what's up. And everybody over there, give my love to everybody over there. But we're gonna break out. We're gonna talk for a while behind the scenes, as we always do, and just
Me and
chill.
Jeff here can fight.
Yeah,
We're gonna
'cause
fight.
We're gonna
we're
smoke
just the
some blunts.
biggest family here.
If I disappear, blame Kyle. Just saying.
But other than that,
No,
guys,
no, no.
thank you very much.
Don't worry, Jay. You're safe, man.
We'll be
I have
back again next time. And as always, actually, Jay, you close us out with your famous line, because I like that line. Go
All right. Well, like I always say, once comic book geek, always comic book geek. See you guys later. Peace.
Wake me.